uncut. Jiggy Jag, you know how he do it. You know what I'm saying? Keeping it all the way live.
Broadcasting live from Hutchinson, Kansas.
Well, I'm sitting here with a linguist. I had no idea. I didn't know you were, but I didn't know that you were a wordsmith.
Call Jiggy right now. 267-22-JIGGY.
Hey Jiggy, what's happening, man? Reminds me of that David Bowie song. Jiggy play guitar. It's a great name, man. Thanks so much for having me on the show.
Presenting.
I'm Mike Massey, and you know, you can catch me on Jiggy Jag TV and see a few of my trick shots there. Thank you very much.
Jiggy Jaguar.
I never knew what freedom was until I saw you lose yours.
They did it to me again today. It is a world famous Jiggy Jaguar show, coast to coast and border to border, all over the World Wide Web and on 50-plus stations throughout the U.S. and Canada. I just don't understand some of the different things going on in this world. Thanks for tuning into the world famous Jiggy Jaguar radio program from the Transmedia Worldwide Studios in the great Salt City of Hutchinson, Kansas. We are live as live can get, Monday through Friday, each and every day, 2 to 5 Central, 3 to 6 Eastern, and 12 to 3 Pacific. We're 24/7 at JiggyJaguar.com on the TuneIn apps, Radio Loyalty, and our podcast is available over there at JiggyJaguar.com. Select portions of our program appear on iHeartRadio as well. And 267-22-JIGGY. And the Jiggy Jaguar radio program is brought to you by our good friends over there at Stitcher Smart Radio. That's right. When you download Stitcher to hear our program, you got a chance to win some money. Downloading is quick and easy. Just go to the App Store, download it, and during registration, hit the promo code box and enter JIGGY, Jaguar when you get registered. Latest episode is going to be waiting for you in your favorites, and you'll get access to lots of other amazing shows, too. Always on demand, always on, no syncing. It's Stitcher Smart Radio, and enter that promo code JIGGY, Jaguar. Go to the App Store to do that, kids. 24/7, we're at JiggyJaguar.com. Today, Frank Bernuccio will be with us. I actually just talked to Frank about 15 minutes ago. He is excited that we are back, so we will talk to him today. Also on the program, in fact, in the next segment, Archie Scott will be joining us. Nick Arnett, Brenda Robinson today. Also the return of Donald Mazzella and Dan Perkins to this program. They are fired up. And what happened to... I don't know what happened. We're supposed to have a lawyer segment today, but I guarantee you that's not going to happen. I guarantee you that's not going to happen. 8 minutes after the hour. Thanks for joining us. WildBunchRadio.com, one of our very, 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 very old I guess stations? I don't know. One of our very old just a strange deal. I don't know. We're not even gonna even address. I just got an email here from an idiot. Not even going to address that email. I will do that later. But I guess. Lots of stuff, lots of coming, lots of fun stuff coming down the pike here on the big broadcast, and we've got 9 minutes after the hour. We're gonna do this. We're gonna take our break now. We are gonna take our quick little break, and we'll deal with the shenanigans and all the other crap on the other side. That's pretty much what I'm looking at. When we get back, we are going to try to get a hold of Archie Scott and figure out what's going on with him, and we've got more when we come back.
Can't smoke at work, can't smoke in the parking lot, can't take a smoking break. Turn their can't into a can with Firelight Fusion electronic cigarettes. Stop letting people tell you what to do. Enjoy the flavor of tobacco or menthol in a convenient electronic cigarette that you can use pretty much everywhere. Get the pleasures of smoking without the smoke, the smell, the stares, and the drama. Visit firelight-fusion.com. That's firelight-fusion.com or call 888-329-7064.
Are you out of work? Are you looking to make a lot of money on the internet from the comfort of your home? I have consistently made over $30,000 every month for the past 8 years. I have received daily $900 payments, $1,800 payments, $3,000 payments, and even $10,000 payments. It's fun, it's easy, and beginners are desperately needed right now. Sign up today at www.pcmteambuilder.com/Coupon Joe and make potentially $30,000 a month, just like I did. Again, the website address is www.pcmteambuilder.com/Coupon Joe.
I'm always looking for great new talk shows to listen to, and I found one. It's called The Mallard Report. From the far beyond to the close to home, you'll hear it all discussed on The Mallard Report with your host, Jim Mallard. The Mallard Report is a paranormal talk show which explores the backstory, the hidden story, and the things other hosts are afraid to discuss. From the secrets of the paranormal to Paula Deen to the government spying on us all, no topic is too taboo for Jim to ignore. The Mallard Report airs live every Tuesday night at 9 p.m. Eastern Time. Listen to The Mallard Report by going to italkparanormal.com. That's the letter I, italkparanormal.com. When you visit italkparanormal.com, you can listen to The Mallard Report 24/7. italkparanormal.com. italkparanormal.com for The Mallard Report.
What can Plexus do for you? It isn't a secret that being overweight has become a worldwide epidemic. In addition to normal concerns of clothes not fitting, lack of energy, and low self-esteem, being overweight can lead to dramatic increases in diabetes, heart disease, cancer, stroke, arthritis, and depression. Consider the following. 8 out of 10 Americans over the age of 25 are overweight. 174 million Americans are overweight or obese. Then worldwide numbers are just crazy. They're expected to double by 2030. 25.8 million children and adults in the United States have diabetes as well. If you're like millions of others, you've probably tried this diet or that pill, but you never got the results you wanted. In fact, the Centers for Disease Control reports that 95% of all diets and weight loss programs fail. Finally, there's an all-natural, healthy solution to help you lose weight. Originally made for diabetics, Plexus Slim is now available. PlexusPinkDrinkHealth.com. People around the country are experiencing amazing results, and you can too. It's www.PlexusPinkDrinkHealth.com.
How many of you would like to make an extra $21,000 in the next 21 days? Call 678-318-1896 right now for all the details. How many of you would like to receive cash daily to your doorstep? Call 678-318-1896 right now for all the details. What if you had a turnkey system that did all the sorting, sifting, and selling for you? Call 678-318-1896 right now for all the details.
The response has been overwhelming, and we thank you guys for shopping the Amazon link at JiggyJaguar.com. Check it out today at JiggyJaguar.com. Recently, we spoke to another guest on our radio program, and he had this to say about Amazon.
I know you guys work with Amazon a lot. It's
Yes.
the #1 mouthwash on Amazon.
We're not asking you to buy anything you don't want or need. You know you're going to do your shopping at Amazon. You might as well help out the broadcast at the same time. To help out our operation, check out JiggyJaguar.com. That's JiggyJaguar.com. And thanks for supporting the world-famous Jiggy Jaguar Show.
Out Loud Minute. The Out Loud Minute.
Ushering in a new era, former Army Chief Abdel Fattah el-Sisi is sworn in as President of Egypt as the world looks on. This is Malcolm Out Loud. Well, el-Sisi makes history, capturing 97% of the vote. With the continued violence and volatility, forced tight security in Cairo, with armored tanks positioned in strategic locations, as el-Sisi swore to protect Egypt's unity, law, and the interest of its people. Well, 30 years of rule by former Commander Hosni Mubarak and a short stint by Muslim Brotherhood's Islamist leader, Mohammed Morsi. The question is, can the Egyptian people get it right this time around? Well, the out loud truth is, the Egyptian people will expect real reform and real results from el-Sisi, or we could be looking at another revolution early on in the new administration. And you can get the rest of the Out Loud truth back at itstimetogetoutloud.com. Isn't it also time to get relief from back and neck pain? Banati.com.
Back to the Jiggy Jaguar Show on the network.
Oh, did you like that there? It is the world-famous Jiggy Jaguar Show, coast to coast and border to border, all over the World Wide Web. And on 50-plus stations throughout the U.S. and Canada. I wish I would have heard that yesterday when we had Malcolm Out Loud on this program, so I could have said, funny little deal on your marketing there. I love it. I love it. I just love marketing in general. I think it's fascinating and good stuff. We've got a great guest with us today here on the line. I'm going to go ahead and go to him here in a few moments. You can go ahead and check us out online at www.jiggyjaguar.com. And iHeartRadio as well, 50-plus stations across the U.S. and Canada. Archie Scott joins us here on the program. Archie, how are you, sir?
I'm doing well. How are you?
Pretty good, actually. You have a fantastic voice, by the way. Did you ever do radio at any point in your career?
I had a TV show at one time.
Ah, okay. Well, Archie, talk to us a little bit on your background here, and then we'll get into the topic here.
Okay. I'm a 1959 graduate of the School of Science at Oregon State University.
Yeah.
That's the same school that Linus Pauling, who was the only two-time Nobel Prize winner, graduated from. And we worked together briefly as consultants at the same place in 1979 and 1980. Now, I got involved with DMSO back in 1964 when I was training for the U.S. Olympic trials. And I had two knee injuries. One was my senior year of high school, a basketball injury. Then 8 years later, I injured my other knee in football. And I was having troubles with my running, and I was having my knees taped when I was competing, and I was introduced to DMSO at that time. Now, that's 50 years ago. And that's when I first got involved with it. And I've been, since then, a consultant at clinics, mostly in the United States and Mexico, and a few other places, but mostly in the U.S. and Mexico. And I've been involved with the DMSO for over 50 years. I'm not a doctor, I'm a chemist, and I originally, of course, got involved with athletic injuries, and DMSO is something that's been around for a long time. It was first synthesized back in the 1860s, and it was basically a chemical curiosity. Not much was done for it for about 80 years until they needed industrial solvents and also wanted use for byproducts from the lumber industry, the lumber and the paper industry. And DMSO at that time was mostly a byproduct that wasn't used. And at that time, Crown Zellerbach became the #1 producer of DMSO. And their plant was across the river from what at that time was the Oregon Medical School, now called Oregon Health and Sciences University. And Robert Hirschler, who was one of the people working with DMSO at Crown Zellerbach, introduced it to Dr. Stan Jacob, who was head of the organ transplant team at the medical school. And at that time, they needed something to preserve organs for transplant. And so Dr. Jacob was introduced to it then, and he found that it had a lot of other uses other than as a preservative for organ transplants. And as I said, my first use was to treat my knees, and I found that it really helped both knees. And since then, we found that it's useful in treating practically every ailment known, either by itself or in combination with other medications. And as an example, it's used in the treatment of cancer, both with chemotherapy, radiation, and Laetrile. It potentiates other products and also in some cases makes them less toxic. Like with the cancer chemotherapy, it makes it less toxic to the human body and more effective against the cancer. And we also use it for like closed head injuries. One of the treatments that I've gotten quite involved with is treatment of brain injuries, where a person has either has a concussion, or like in some of the football players as an example, many of the injuries are minor brain trauma thousands of times, and DMSO is effective with that also. And it's also used for arthritis. It's used for practically every ailment. And it can be used topically. The person can drink it. It can be injected either intravenously or intramuscularly. So it's got a lot of ways that it can be used. And
it is Archie Scott. He's with us today here on the broadcast, coast to coast and border to border, all over the World Wide Web, and on 50-plus stations throughout the U.S. and Canada on iHeartRadio, Radio Loyalty, and the TuneIn app. Archie is the author of the acclaimed DMSO Handbook for Doctors. He is also a fantastic, has a great background here in this. Tell me why you decided to write the book, DMSO Handbook for Doctors.
Okay, the reason I decided to write the book, there are several books on DMSO, but a lot of them are, well, I figure mine is the best organized. So I've got chapters on each ailment. And it's concise. It's a book that the average person can understand, and it's also very beneficial for the doctor. my idea is that if a person really knows their subject, they can write it so that the average person can understand it. There's no reason to make anything complicated, whether it's medicine or whatever it is, so that the average person can't understand it. And this book is one that has a chapter on just about every topic you may want. Like it's got the beginning chapters, we've got a chapter on Alzheimer's, and which DMSO is very good in treating, on brain damage, on eye problems, on hearing problems, on just about every ailment that you want to think about. And I figured before I leave this earth, I wanted to have a book out there that could be useful for people down through the ages. And DMSO is something that's been around, used medically now, for about 50 years, for a little over 50 years actually. And it's not widely used, not as widely used as it should be. And I figured that this book could help both doctors and patients learn more about DMSO. And the book is available in most bookstores.
Yep.
On
We've got
Amazon.
Archie Scott with us today. It's available on Amazon. It's a fantastic book. DMSO. We're going to continue to talk to Archie about this. We're going to take a quick time out here, and when we come back, we've got more. So stay tuned. Archie Scott, more with him on the other side here on the Big Broadcast.
Smoke at work, can't smoke in the parking lot, can't take a smoking break. Turn their can't into a can with Firelight Fusion electronic cigarettes. Stop letting people tell you what to do. Enjoy the flavor of tobacco or menthol in a convenient electronic cigarette that you can use pretty much everywhere. Get the pleasures of smoking without the smoke, the smell, the stares, and the drama. Visit firelight-fusion.com. That's firelight-fusion.com. Or call 888-329-7064.
Are you out of work? Are you looking to make a lot of money on the internet from the comfort of your home? I have consistently made over $30,000 every month for the past 8 years. I have received daily $900 payments, $1,800 payments, $3,000 payments, and even $10,000 payments. It's fun, it's easy, and beginners are desperately needed right now. Sign up today at www.pcmteambuilder.com/couponjo and make potentially $30,000 a month, just like I did. Again, the website address is www.pcmteambuilder.com/couponjo.
I'm always looking for great new talk shows to listen to, and I found one. It's called The Mallard Report. From the far beyond to the close to home, you'll hear it all discussed on The Mallard Report with your host, Jim Mallard. The Mallard Report is a paranormal talk show which explores the backstory, the hidden story, and the things other hosts are afraid to discuss. From the secrets of the paranormal to Paula Deen to the government spying on us all, no topic is too taboo for Jim to ignore. The Mallard Report airs live every Tuesday night at 9 p.m. Eastern Time. Listen to The Mallard Report by going to italkparanormal.com. That's the letter I, italkparanormal.com. When you visit italkparanormal.com, you can listen to the Mallard Report 24/7. italkparanormal.com. italkparanormal.com for the Mallard Report.
What can Plexus do for you? It isn't a secret that being overweight has become a worldwide epidemic. In addition to normal concerns of clothes not fitting, lack of energy, and low self-esteem, being overweight can lead to dramatic increases in diabetes, heart disease, cancer, stroke, arthritis, and depression. Consider the following. 8 out of 10 Americans over the age of 25 are overweight. 174 million Americans are overweight or obese. Then worldwide numbers are just crazy. They're expected to double by 2030. 25.8 million children and adults in the United States have diabetes as well. If you're like millions of others, you've probably tried this diet or that pill, but you never got the results you wanted. In fact, the Centers for Disease Control reports that 95% of all diets and weight loss programs fail. Finally, there's an all-natural, healthy solution to help you lose weight. Originally made for diabetics, Plexus Slim is now available. PlexusPinkDrinkHealth.com. People around the country are experiencing amazing results, and you can too. It's www.PlexusPinkDrinkHealth.com.
How many of you would like to make an extra $21,000 in the next 21 days? Call 678-318-1896 right now for all the details. How many of you would like to receive cash daily to your doorstep? Call 678-318-1896 right now for all the details. What if you had a turnkey system that did all the sorting, sifting, and selling for you? Call 678-318-1896 right now for all the details.
The response has been overwhelming, and we thank you guys for shopping the Amazon link at JiggyJaguar.com. Check it out today at JiggyJaguar.com. Recently, we spoke to another guest on our radio program, and he had this to say about Amazon.
I know you guys work with Amazon a lot.
Yes.
It's the #1 mouthwash on Amazon.
We're not asking you to buy anything you don't want or need. You know you're going to do your shopping at Amazon. You might as well help out the broadcast at the same time. To help out our operation, check out JiggyJaguar.com. That's JiggyJaguar.com. And thanks for supporting the world-famous Jiggy Jaguar Show.
Welcome to the Unlock Your Wealth Update. Here's Heather Wagenhals.
America's tax system can be quite complex, harmful to our economy, and sometimes a little unjustified. Even with recent revenue gains, we won't see a raise high enough to pay the Fed's future bills, and now is the time for wholesale tax reform. Reforms can have a far-reaching effect on small business. Evaluate them on these main points. Tax compliance. It holds a large burden on small businesses. The IRS estimates that businesses with less than $1 million in revenue bear almost 2/3 of business compliance costs. Second, small businesses are more likely to underpay their taxes. Because they are more likely to deal in cash and engage in transactions that are not reported to the IRS, they can understate revenues and overstate expenses. Finally, organize with the right structure. Entities such as S-Corps, LLCs, and LLPs help avoid double taxation.
For more great resources to help you create unlimited wealth and happiness, visit our website at crackingyourmoneycode.com. I'm Heather Wagenhals. Now go out and unlock your wealth today.
Jiggy Jaguar, the 2008 Community Access Television Rookie of the Year, and the Jiggy Jaguar Radio Show on the network and JiggyJaguar.com.
Welcome back to the big broadcast, coast to coast and border to border, all over the World Wide Web and on 50-plus stations throughout the U.S. and Canada. We are live Monday through Friday, 2 to 5 Central, 3 to 6 Eastern, and 12 to 3 Pacific. 24/7 at JiggyJaguar.com on the TuneIn apps and Radio Loyalty, and our podcast is available. Select portions of our program are available on iHeartRadio. And we've got Archie Scott back with us. Archie, tell me a little bit more about this book. This is a fantastic, fantastic read. Tell me all about your incredible book here, DMSO, Handbook for Doctors.
Yes, it's a book, as I said, that's available from your local bookstore. If they don't have it, you can ask them to order it. It's also available on Amazon, and also any of your readers that, any of your listeners that want to order it, they can also order it direct from me. and I'll give you my address. It'd be it's Archie Scott, P.O. Box 17881, Los Angeles, California, 90017. And the book's list price is $13.95. It's, in my opinion, it's the best medical book for that price that's available anywhere. And if you order it from me, I'll send it without charging for the postage or handling. Just the $13.95 list price, and the listener can send in a check or money order, and we will send it right out. Now, this book has 39 chapters. Most of the chapters are very short. It's very much to the point, and you can get information on just about every medical condition. As I said, I'm not a doctor, and I don't claim to be one, but I've got information that's valuable, and it's something like the listeners that are not doctors, they can get a copy of the book and take it to their doctor and discuss it. And it's got, as I said, chapters on brain injuries like concussions, which I've been doing a lot of work on recently, on cancer, on shingles, on Alzheimer's, and DMSO is useful in treating Alzheimer's, because they say that Alzheimer's, the current theory on Alzheimer's is that it's caused by what is called the beta amyloid protein, and DMSO has been shown to dissolve this. And I think that this book is something that should be in everybody's medical library, whether you're a doctor or what your line of work is. It's something that I think everybody should have a copy of the book. And
it is Archie Scott joining us today here on the program. Fantastic book. It's called DMSO Handbook for Doctors. It is a fantastic read. Now, with this book, you've got a lot of information in here. Tell us a little bit about some of the different things that are examined in the book.
Okay, one item that I will go into is the brain injuries. Recently, there's been a lot of information about concussions, especially with athletic injuries. And one item that's we see in the sports page a lot recently, and also even on the front pages, is brain injuries to former football players. Now, these may be players that have been retired for 30 years or thereabouts, maybe even 40 years, and they now start showing signs of brain damage or Alzheimer's, Lou Gehrig's disease, Parkinson's. These are all much more common in former football players than they are in the general population. And of course, boxers also have this to a great extent. And DMSO is useful in treating this. We've had a few former players that are being treated with DMSO very positively. And this is something that my recommendation would be that every one involved in any type of contact sport be treated with DMSO after they've finished like, say, a football game. They should be treated with it. Those that get an obvious concussion should get an IV infusion immediately. That's not after the game, but it's during the game. And the others should be treated either topically or drink it after the game, those that don't have any signs of obvious injury. And those that have signs of symptoms 10, 20, 30 years later, it works even in treating those. And so anybody that's involved in athletics, whether it's the little children or the professional football player or boxer or hockey player, soccer players, whatever, they should be treated with DMSO. Now, the best time, of course, is to treat them immediately. But if we have people that have had signs of problems, there's one football player especially that I can think of that his treatment started 30 years after he quit playing football professionally. And he had some signs of what they call chronic traumatic encephalopathy, which is a brain damage. It can either be caused by a few major concussions, or it can be caused by minor brain trauma thousands of times. And as I said, sometimes the symptoms don't show up until 30 years later. Now, when you have a blow to the head, you have a number of things that can happen. You can have inflammation, you can have accumulation of various fluids, you can have formation of what they call free radicals, which are charged particles that come after the injury. You have lack of oxygen. All of this leads to problems, and the problems don't necessarily start right at the time. It can be something that gradually builds up, like with most of these former football players. It builds up over a period of years before the symptoms show up. And DMSO can be used at any time along there. It can be used after the symptoms actually show up. And in my opinion, every football team, every hockey team, every soccer team should have DMSO available. And especially at the higher levels, like, say, as an example, professional football, like the NFL, they should have doctors on the sideline who know how to use it, and if somebody gets an obvious concussion, then you give them an IV infusion with DMSO. Otherwise, I think everybody should get treatment following that, for the brain injury. Also, when I first started using it, I used it for knee injuries. And it's good for knee injuries, any type of injury. The characteristics of DMSO are such that it's beneficial in treating practically any ailment. Now, I'd be available to talk to any doctor or athletic trainer about how it should be used, and it said you can contact, as I gave my P.O. Box number for...
Can they get your information through your website, archiescott.com?
Yes, in the website. Also, you can go to the website. I have a couple of articles there, one on treating athletic injuries, specifically football, and also another article there on treating radiation poisoning. This is, of course, these websites. My website, you can get free information there. And the website is archiehscott@hotmail.com. That's archiehscott@hotmail.com. And I'll give my phone number also, so that any doctor or athletic trainer that wants to contact me can get me by phone, and that's area code 213-481-0473. That's 213-481-0473. And my P.O. Box number is Archie Scott, P.O. Box 17881, Los Angeles 90017. And the book, it's got chapters on cancer.
It's getting a lot of good reviews, I'll have to say. Archie Scott with us today. He's the author of the acclaimed DMSO Handbook for Doctors. You can also check it out online. We've been talking about what DMSO is. It's a wonder drug that's been around for many years. It's been helping people with all sorts of ailments, and it really works. Lately, it's been helping people, mostly athletes, with concussions. Archie has been giving us the latest helpful information in this area. Archie, before we let you go, the website, give your phone number one more time so people can get more information from you.
The phone number is area code 213-481-0473. And I'll also give the address again.
Okay.
That's P.O. Box 17881, Los Angeles, California, 90017. And the cost of the book is $13.95. That's the list price, and those of the listeners who want to order it from me direct, why, you can send me a check or money order for $13.95, and I will send it right out.
Well, good stuff. Well, Archie, I've got to go. We've got to get to our next correspondent here, but I appreciate you being with us today, my friend.
Okay, I've enjoyed it.
Definitely. Well, we'll talk to you soon, Archie. Have yourself a wonderful
bye.
day. Archie Scott. I always mute that mic before we go to break. Frank Vernuccio on the way.
Smoke at work, can't smoke in the parking lot, can't take a smoking break. Turn their can't into a can with Firelight Fusion electronic cigarettes. Stop letting people tell you what to do. Enjoy the flavor of tobacco or menthol in a convenient electronic cigarette that you can use pretty much everywhere. Get the pleasures of smoking without the smoke, the smell, the stares, and the drama. Visit firelight-fusion.com. That's firelight-fusion.com, or call 888-329-7064.
Are you out of work? Are you looking to make a lot of money on the internet from the comfort of your home? I have consistently made over $30,000 every month for the past 8 years. I have received daily $900 payments, $1,800 payments, $3,000 payments, and even $10,000 payments. It's fun, it's easy, and beginners are desperately needed right now. Sign up today at www.pcmteambuilder.com/Coupon Joe and make potentially $30,000 a month just like I did. Again, the website address is www.pcmteambuilder.com/Coupon Joe.
I'm always looking for great new talk shows to listen to, and I found one. It's called The Mallard Report. From the far beyond to the close to home, you'll hear it all discussed on The Mallard Report with your host, Jim Mallard. The Mallard Report is a paranormal talk show which explores the backstory, the hidden story, and the things other hosts are afraid to discuss. From the secrets of the paranormal to Paula Deen to the government spying on us all, no topic is too taboo for Jim to ignore. The Mallard Report airs live every Tuesday night at 9 p.m. Eastern Time. Listen to The Mallard Report by going to italkparanormal.com. That's the letter I, italkparanormal.com. When you visit italkparanormal.com, you can listen to The Mallard Report 24/7. italkparanormal.com. italkparanormal.com for The Mallard Report.
What can Plexus do for you? It isn't a secret that being overweight has become a worldwide epidemic. In addition to normal concerns of clothes not fitting, lack of energy, and low self-esteem, being overweight can lead to dramatic increases in diabetes, heart disease, cancer, stroke, arthritis, and depression. Consider the following. 8 out of 10 Americans over the age of 25 are overweight. 174 million Americans are overweight or obese. Then worldwide numbers are just crazy. They're expected to double by 2030. 25.8 million children and adults in the United States have diabetes as well. If you're like millions of others, you've probably tried this diet or that pill, but you never got the results you wanted. In fact, the Centers for Disease Control reports that 95% of all diets and weight loss programs fail. Finally, there's an all-natural, healthy solution to help you lose weight. Originally made for diabetics, Plexus Slim is now available. PlexusPinkDrinkHealth.com. People around the country are experiencing amazing results, and you can too. It's www.PlexusPinkDrinkHealth.com.
How many of you would like to make an extra $21,000 in the next 21 days? Call 678-318-1896 right now for all the details. How many of you would like to receive cash daily to your doorstep? Call 678-318-1896 right now for all the details. What if you had a turnkey system that did all the sorting, sifting, and selling for you? Call 678-318-1896 right now for all the details.
Listeners ask us all the time, how can we support the operation? Well, head over to our website at www.jiggyjaguar.com. That's right, jiggyjaguar.com. Click on the Amazon banner on our page. It will take you to Amazon. You will still see all the great prices, all the great selection, all the great convenience. But when you shop Amazon, we get a little bit of a credit from Amazon, and it helps us keep the operation going here. Recently, we had best-selling author, National Award winner Dan Perkins on, and he was talking about Amazon.
I listened to your promotion for Amazon.com. You can buy book 1 and book 2, which just came out.
Look at that.
I encourage your listeners to go there and support your operation.
You don't need to buy anything you don't want or need. You just do what you do on Amazon. Buy everything that you usually buy there, but do it through our link at jiggyjaguar.com. We get a small percentage, as I mentioned earlier, and it helps really fund our operation. Thanks to our friends at Amazon.com, and thanks for you for supporting us, the great listeners of the world-famous Jiggy Jaguar radio broadcast.
This is your radio philosopher, Eric Papp, bringing you your thought of the day. The flow of productivity and performance. Just like there are 4 seasons in a year, and just like we listen to music that is fast and slow, so too is our performance and productivity. So the idea is to not beat ourselves up or feel guilty on the days that our performance is not as high or that we're not as productive. Just know that we're going to have some lulls, and we're also going to have some peaks as we experience productivity and performance. The next time you find your productivity not as high as you'd like it, stick with it, because just like a season or a dance, it will change. To recommend a thought of the day, email me, eric@ericpapp.com. Thanks, and remember, be responsible and stay powerful.
Talk with Jiggy right now at 1-866-763-1242 and email jiggyjaguar@jiggyjaguar.com.
Oh, it's a fabulous, fabulous day. We've got Frank Vernuccio joining us for his regular segment. I just found out that apparently there has been a shooting somewhere. Oh, I don't want to get into the whole conspiracy thing. I don't want to get into that world. But I just find it odd that we have all these mass shootings all of a sudden. Frank Vernuccio with us today. Frank, how are you, sir?
Jim, how are you? It's good to hear you again.
Yes, I am glad to be back. We have gotten everything that we needed to get done, and we got some stuff done. We're now on iHeartRadio and some other things, so we are back up and running. Frank, there is a lot of different things going on. Yesterday we were talking with Malcolm Out Loud and a few of our other Monday regulars about this immigration situation. First of all, let's start with that, and then we'll move on down the line here.
Well, it seems that border agents have been told to essentially look the other way. There's been an increase of folks flooding over the southern border of the United States. When they are apprehended, rather than being deported or starting the process of deportation, they're being put in converted military bases. And it seems rather strange that the administration has decided not to go through with the normal deportation proceedings. There's a lot of concern about it. A lot of the border agents are quite upset about it themselves. And it seems to me that the president has decided on a significant policy change without benefit of going through Congress to obtain the appropriate legislation that he really is supposed to do under the Constitution before making a change like this.
It just continues to be all about he just pretty much does whatever the hell he wants. Is that pretty much what's going on here?
Well, James, that's absolutely correct. And I mean, we look at a number of areas. We look, for example, at the edicts he gave out last week concerning the carbon emissions tax, the carbon emissions regulations. Now, that's a proposal that he originally tried to get Congress to approve of. He couldn't get congressional approval, so he went ahead and did it anyway. Similar to an immigration, he wanted to get the DREAM Act passed quickly. It didn't work. Hasn't worked yet, and now he's doing it anyway. One of the problems we see here is whether or not you agree with the president's policies on immigration or the environment or foreign affairs or anything else, you have to be concerned that the president has essentially, well, I mean, there's no polite way to say this, but tossed the constitutional process out the window. Once that happens, the door is open to all sorts of really serious problems.
Frank Vernuccio with us today, coast to coast and border to border. You can hear him each and every week on AMFM247.com, and he does an amazing job over there. There is all sorts of different things also going on in the news today regarding this Bo Bergdahl miscreant. I pretty much have just got to refer to him as that because there's been all sorts of different things going on. It's been done to death all over radio about should we have traded prisoners for him, should we have not, all these different things. But my question to you, Frank, is why is it that people are missing the story of, regardless of how we view the guy and regardless of what he actually is, whether he was their buddy or he converted to Islam or whatever the hell's going on, why are people missing the point that it's an American soldier, it's an American citizen, and shouldn't people just be glad that we have the guy back?
Well, you're absolutely right, and we should be glad that we have him back no matter what extenuating circumstances there are. But there's a real deep-seated concern over the type of trade that we did. Listen to the description of the people that we gave back. We gave back the Taliban Army Chief of Staff, the senior Taliban military commander, the Taliban Deputy Minister of Intelligence, the former Interior Minister for the Taliban, and a top Taliban security official. Look, this isn't trading Private Kilroy for Sergeant Schultz. This is trading Private Kilroy for Erwin Rommel, in the Second World War. We restored the Taliban to the way it was at the time of the attacks on 9/11. combined with the announced date of a withdrawal of American troops from Afghanistan, we've basically put the Taliban right back to where they were when they attacked us on 9/11. That's a serious problem, and I think there's danger ahead.
Now, Frank, we've got a few moments here left with you. This VA scandal is there's a lot of different people. I know that one of my favorite guys here in Kansas, as far as politics go, Tim Huell's camp, who I consider a friend, he has kind of championed this whole VA situation. What is going on over there with this? Is there any movement or anything?
Well, now it's been revealed that there are approximately 57,000 veterans waiting for very important types of treatment they could die without. It appears as though because there was a bonus system set up where workers got credit for certain types of appointments, whether or not the appointments were kept, that there may have been some form of conspiracy to increase the number of appointments, to increase the bonuses of those workers. So this is a real criminal act. It's not a question of dollars. The VA has been very well funded. It's a question of how those dollars were spent. And it appears that there's some funny business at play with union workers in particular trying to jack up bonuses through juggling the appointment system to the detriment of the health of the veterans.
It's Frank Vernuccio. He joins us today. Frank, thank you, sir. Thanks for coming back, and glad to have you back, and looking forward to you next week. Before we let you go, how do we access the radio program and all that?
Well, the radio program is at 10 a.m. Every Thursday on AM/FM 24/7. And if you'd like to find out more about what we're writing and what we're researching, our website is usagovpolicy.com.
Well, good stuff, Frank. I appreciate it, sir, and we'll talk to you soon. Have yourself a wonderful day.
Welcome back, Jim.
Thank you. Appreciate it, Frank. Talk to you soon. Frank Vernuccio with us today. We've got more when we come back. Has been overwhelming, and we thank you guys for shopping the Amazon link at JiggyJaguar.com. Check it out today at JiggyJaguar.com. Recently, we spoke to another guest on our radio program, and he had this to say about Amazon.
I know you guys work with Amazon a lot.
Yes.
It's the #1 mouthwash on Amazon.
We're not asking you to buy anything you don't want or need. You know you're going to do your shopping at Amazon. You might as well help out the broadcast at the same time. To help out our operation, check out JiggyJaguar.com. That's JiggyJaguar.com. And thanks for supporting the world-famous Jiggy Jaguar Show.
AMFM247.com. The best of talk and music 24/7. Pre-recorded talk shows, multiple hour show opportunities are available. Weekly, bi-weekly, and monthly spots are available. You can sell your commercials in your time block and keep 100% of the earnings. 2-month free trial available. March and April of 2014 will cost you absolutely nothing. After that, there's a monthly fee with no term contracts. Show packages start at $150 a month after your free 2-month period. We can help you prep your talk show for iHeartRadio if you're not currently on it. We use our top-rated public relations firm to promote your program. We create you a landing page on the website for you to promote the program, current guests, and show news. We can submit your show to iHeartRadio and manage all the ins and outs for you. That's AMFM247.com. That's AMFM247.com.
Are you out of work? Are you looking to make a lot of money on the internet from the comfort of your home? I have consistently made over $30,000 every month for the past 8 years. I have received daily $900 payments, $1,800 payments, $3,000 payments, and even $10,000 payments. It's fun, it's easy, and beginners are desperately needed right now. Sign up today at www.pcmteambuilder.com/Coupon Joe and make potentially $30,000 a month, just like I did. Again, the website address is www.pcmteambuilder.com facebook.com/Coupon Joe.
The newest way to get heard, the newest way to get noticed in the Wichita and Central Kansas scene. It's KansasHipHop.com. You can sell your music in the store.
If it don't make dollars, it don't make sense. Sell your music in the store on KansasHipHop.com.
Also, post your videos and have your audio heard by millions. KansasHipHop.com. Social promo as well using hashtags. KansasHipHop.com. Check out the KSHH Mobile Text Club. Stop sitting in front of the social media and hop on KansasHipHop.com. You've heard us play unsigned artists every single weekend on the world-famous Jiggy Jaguar Experience on TalkRadioX.com and Radio Xenu and 50-plus stations across the U.S. and Canada. Now you can be our featured artist of the day. Send us an email, kjagradio@gmail.com. Like us on Facebook at facebook.com/kjagradio or find us online at kjagradio.com. You could be our next artist of the day. Submit your music, your bio, and your information today at kjagradio.com.
I'm always looking for great new talk shows to listen to, and I found one. It's called The Mallard Report. From the far beyond to the close to home, you'll hear it all discussed on The Mallard Report with your host, Jim Mallard. The Mallard Report is a paranormal talk show which explores the backstory, the hidden story, and the things other hosts are afraid to discuss. From the secrets of the paranormal to Paula Deen to the government spying on us all, no topic is too taboo for Jim to ignore. The Mallard Report airs live every Tuesday night at 9 p.m. Eastern Time. Listen to The Mallard Report by going to italkparanormal.com. That's the letter I, italkparanormal.com. When you visit italkparanormal.com, you can listen to The Mallard Report 24/7. italkparanormal.com. italkparanormal.com for The Mallard Report.
So what's in your emergency toolbox? What about pet provisions? This is ASC Auto Professional Pam Oaks letting you know it's time for summer vacation. And I want you to be safe on the roads this season. It doesn't matter if you had your vehicle checked from bumper to bumper before hitting the highway. Stuff happens. A flat tire, a fender bender. You run over something in the road that gets caught up in a belt. Well, here at Car Care for the Clueless, we've got your back. I'll be going over important emergency roadside must-have items to have in your trunk this season. Today's item, pet provisions. Taking Fido or Fluffy on a road trip with you? Don't forget a one-day backup supply of food, water, and pet waste pickup provisions. Also, a list of pet-friendly hotels and restaurants, too. You want to make sure your furry friends are stress-free, making your trip worry-free. Keeping you on the road this summer with CarCareForTheClueless.com, making you a savvy car consumer.
Can't smoke at work, can't smoke in the parking lot, can't take a smoking break. Turn their can't into a can with Firelight Fusion electronic cigarettes. Stop letting people tell you what to do. Enjoy the flavor of tobacco or menthol in a convenient electronic cigarette that you can use pretty much everywhere. Get the pleasures of smoking without the smoke, the smell, the stares, and the drama. Visit firelight-fusion.com. That's firelight-fusion.com or call 888-329-7064.
Are you out of work? Are you looking to make a lot of money on the internet from the comfort of your home? I have consistently made over $30,000 every month for the past 8 years. I have received daily $900 payments, $1,800 payments, $3,000 payments, and even $10,000 payments. It's fun, it's easy, and beginners are desperately needed right now. Sign up today at www.pcmteambuilder.com/Coupon Joe and make potentially $30,000 a month, just like I did. Again, the website address is www.pcmteambuilder.com/Coupon Joe.
Listeners ask us all the time, how can we support the operation? Head over to our website at www.jiggyjaguar.com. That's right, jiggyjaguar.com. Click on the Amazon banner on our page. It will take you to Amazon. You will still see all the great prices, all the great selection, all the great convenience. But when you shop Amazon, we get a little bit of a credit from Amazon, and it helps us keep the operation going here. Recently, we had best-selling author, National Award winner Dan Perkins on, and he was talking about Amazon.
I listened to your promotion for Amazon.com. You can buy book 1 and book 2, which just came out.
Look at that.
I encourage your listeners to go there and support your operation.
You don't need to buy anything you don't want or need. You just do what you do on Amazon. Buy everything that you usually buy there, but do it through our link at jiggyjaguar.com. We get a small percentage, as I mentioned earlier, and it helps really fund our operation. Thanks to our friends at Amazon.com, and thanks for you for supporting us, the great listeners of the world-famous Jiggy Jaguar radio broadcast.
At dollarseed.com, all of our seeds are only $1 a pack. And we have online resources that teach you all about the rewarding hobby of growing your own plants, flowers, herbs, and vegetables. Imagine the joy you'll feel when your children actually help you harvest your first garden crop, or the pride of knowing you'll never need a florist again. Visit dollarseed.com and grow a little magic of your own for just $1. Dollarseed.com. What could be healthier?
I'm always looking for great new talk shows to listen to, and I found one. It's called The Mallard Report. From the far beyond to the close to home, you'll hear it all discussed on The Mallard Report with your host, Jim Mallard. The Mallard Report is a paranormal talk show which explores the backstory, the hidden story, and the things other hosts are afraid to discuss. From the secrets of the paranormal to Paula Deen to the government spying on us all, no topic is too taboo for Jim to ignore. The Mallard Report airs live every Tuesday night at 9 p.m. Eastern Time. Listen to The Mallard Report by going to italkparanormal.com. That's the letter I, italkparanormal.com. When you visit italkparanormal.com, you can listen to The Mallard Report 24/7. italkparanormal.com. italkparanormal.com for The Mallard Report.
What can Plexus do for you? It isn't a secret that being overweight has become a worldwide epidemic. In addition to normal concerns of clothes not fitting, lack of energy, and low self-esteem, being overweight can lead to dramatic increases in diabetes, heart disease, cancer, stroke, arthritis, and depression. Consider the following. 8 out of 10 Americans over the age of 25 are overweight. 174 million Americans are overweight or obese. Then worldwide numbers are just crazy. They're expected to double by 2030. 25.8 million children and adults in the United States have diabetes as well. If you're like millions of others, you've probably tried this diet or that pill, but you never got the results you wanted. In fact, the Centers for Disease Control reports that 95% of all diets and weight loss programs fail. Finally, there's an all-natural, healthy solution to help you lose weight. Originally made for diabetics, Plexus Slim is now available. PlexusPinkDrinkHealth.com. people around the country are experiencing amazing results, and you can too. It's www.plexuspinkdrinkhealth.com.
It's a Minute Report for America. With June well underway, students across America can almost taste the sweet prospect of summer vacation. The days are longer, the delicious smell of barbecue perfumes the air, and that long, terrible winter we endured seems like a nightmare now. The youngsters are dreaming about the wonderful months to come. They have a lot of advantages that never existed before, but there are a lot of challenges too. We have reviewed all the arguments for a 12-month school year and still oppose the idea. America's success has always depended on the creativity and freedom-mindedness of its people. Institutionalizing our children, particularly in the increasingly bureaucratic public school system non-stop, would drive that spirit right out of them. Of course, parents have to work, and for the majority of families where both mom and dad have jobs, and for single-parent households, providing care during the season can be a challenge. Non-school-based venues and programs are a valid alternative. For older students, summer jobs are an important part of the growing process. Politicians and pundits who try to justify looser immigration standards say many of these tasks are jobs Americans wouldn't take. That's nonsense. Even the toughest, lowest paid position can be an important learning experience for young people. In some parts of the nation, we see 40% unemployment rates for our youth. Making them compete with increased numbers of non-Americans does a major disservice to them. I'm Frank Vernuccio. Read more at usagovpolicy.com.
Jiggy Jaguar, the 2008 Community Access Television Rookie of the Year, and the Jiggy Jaguar Radio Show on the network and JiggyJaguar.com.
Welcome back to the big broadcast, coast to coast and border to border, all over the World Wide Web and on 50-plus stations throughout the U.S. and Canada, on iHeartRadio, also Radio Loyalty and the TuneIn app. If you're watching us on Ustream, I'm not real happy with one of my lights right now, but that's between me and the light, not between me and 50 fake people that I supposedly talk to in the studio, not like other radio shows that do that. We've got a fabulous guest on the line, and I want to go to her and have her give a brief introduction on herself, and then we'll talk a little bit about why she's here. Go ahead and jump in there, my friend. Tell us all about yourself.
Hi, my name is Brenda Sue Robinson. I'm the author of Through Shirley's Eyes, and I've been touring around trying to expose my book to the masses, and it's been a wonderful experience so far. Kind of up and down, but wonderful nonetheless.
Now, this book is fantastic. Tell us a little bit about the book.
Well, the book is about my sister Shirley growing up in Louisiana in the late 40s and early 50s. The commonality about the book that seems to be across the board, whether it's a man reading it, whether it's a woman, black, white, pink, or yellow, it comes across, it touches where they live. Everybody looks at it and says, I can see myself. You know, it's very familiar. It becomes the reader. The reader sees himself in it. And if you can read, you can enjoy this book.
It is a great guest with us today here on the line. This is a really, really cool book, Brenda. Tell me about the writing process for the book.
Did you say writing?
The writing process for the book. Tell me about the writing process for the book.
Well, it took me maybe about 2.5 years. And what happened was I kind of sabotaged myself a little bit in there. It was like when I was, getting to the end of the book, and I had people reading it, all different types of people reading it, and everybody loved it. But in myself, it was like, nobody's going to buy this book. It's not great. But it turned out that people loved the book. There's a lady, a friend of mine named Kathy. Her mother, who is an avid reader, she started reading the book, and she stopped and slowed down. Where she only reads a little bit every day because she said she doesn't want it to end. And so the process of getting this book to that point, again, was about 2.5 years. But it was a journey that was kind of crazy. You know, my first novel, I had written other things. I had written screenplays, short stories, poetry. I had been doing that for years. And it was my mother who said, you should write a novel. And I'm thinking War and Peace. There's no way I could write War and Peace. But I went on after she died. The thought came back to me again, and the idea dropped in my mind through Shirley's eyes. And I began to talk to my sister Shirley, and she would tell me different incidents that were so colorful, so alive, so it would just draw you into it. That it just stimulated me really to my creativity. It just stimulated it to an accelerated level that I just started to write, and it really wrote itself. I guess all writers say that, but it was like it took on a life of its own, and it was like a wind pushing me in the back of me, just pushing me to finish the book.
It's a great guest with us today. Brenda Robinson joins us here on the program talking about her incredible book. Now, is this your first book, or have you written anything in the past?
Yeah, I've this is my first book, but in the past I wrote like screenplays, short stories, stage plays. I've produced some stage plays. So this is my first adventure with a novel. But it's a wonderful adventure because the thing about writing a novel, you can be more expressive. I mean, you can take your time. You know, with screenplays and all that, you're constrained by time. You know what I mean? You can't waste a lot of time on description. But novels give you that opportunity to be very expressive.
Brenda Robinson joins us today here on the program, coast to coast and border to border, here on iHeartRadio, also on the TuneIn apps and Radio Loyalty, and JiggyJaguar.com. That's JiggyJaguar.com. And Brenda, what do you want readers to take away from your writing?
Good question. Is that many, many stories have been told about the black experience. It's been like civil rights, and that's valid. It's been like slavery, that's valid. But that's not our only story. We have many beautiful stories of communal stories. Because in the black community, when you were younger, back when my sister was coming up, it's that if you walked past the neighbor's house, you didn't speak, before you made it home, your mother was waiting out there for you. And they would say, I'm going to tell Miss Julia that you passed my house and you didn't part your lips. And you would have the world, it would be havoc when you got home, you know. And so the stories that it's a different peek into the black experience. It shows us to be very natural, just like everybody else. We have hopes, we have dreams, we have love, we have disappointments. You have all of that. And this book kind of tells that, and tells that part of our life that we don't get to show a lot.
It is a great guest with us today. Brenda Robinson joins us. We're going to take a quick time out here. When we come back, we're going to chat a little bit more with Brenda on the other side here on the big program.
My name is Alex, and I'm a professional stock car race driver. I love zipping around the track at high speeds as the crowd cheers me on. It's exhilarating, but it takes a special kind of driver to handle the course. If you listen to the book series I'm participating in, I can show you how to be your own special kind of driver. But unfortunately, you can't do that just yet. My friends at Turn 2 Healthy Racing and I can't tell the stories the way we want to without help from you. Go to Kickstarter.com and search for Turn 2 Healthy Racing. That's Turn 2 Healthy Racing, and support them so I can tell you all my exciting stories.
Can't smoke at work, can't smoke in the parking lot, can't take a smoking break. Turn their can't into a can with Firelight Fusion electronic cigarettes. Stop letting people tell you what to do. Enjoy the flavor of tobacco or menthol in a convenient electronic cigarette that you can use pretty much everywhere. Get the pleasures of smoking without the smoke, the smell, the stares, and the drama. Visit firelight-fusion.com. That's firelight-fusion.com or call 888-329-7064.
I'm always looking for great new talk shows to listen to, and I found one. It's called The Mallard Report. From the far beyond to the close to home, you'll hear it all discussed on The Mallard Report with your host, Jim Mallard. The Mallard Report is a paranormal talk show which explores the backstory, the hidden story, and the things other hosts are afraid to discuss. From the secrets of the paranormal to Paula Deen to the government spying on us all, no topic is too taboo for Jim to ignore. The Mallard Report airs live every Tuesday night at 9 p.m. Eastern Time. Listen to The Mallard Report by going to italkparanormal.com. That's the letter I, italkparanormal.com. When you visit italkparanormal.com, you can listen to The Mallard Report 24/7. italkparanormal.com. italkparanormal.com for The Mallard Report.
The response to our Amazon shopping has been amazing. You guys have come through in a record amount of traffic by shopping our Amazon link at JiggyJaguar.com. Every time you buy your books, electronics, videos on demand, smartphones, netbooks, Kindles, everything, you can even buy groceries over there. That is absolutely amazing. When you shop our Amazon.com link at JiggyJaguar.com, that's JiggyJaguar.com, we get a percentage of the sales from Amazon. So every time you buy your HD TVs and MP3s, recently Dan Perkins, best-selling author, had this to say about Amazon.
I listened to your promotion for Amazon.com. You can buy book 1 and book 2, which just came out.
Look at that.
I encourage your listeners to go there and support your operation.
So keep shopping our Amazon link at JiggyJaguar.com. Every time you do your shopping, we get a percentage of the sales, and that's boosting our operation here. We couldn't do it without you, and the response has been phenomenal.
Welcome to the Racing to Success Minute with Nadine Lajoie. Do you want to be more efficient in your business and your life? You need to set up your 5 priorities of the day the night before you are going to bed. After a little meditation or asking help to focus on the first 5 important things on the morning, just before you go to bed, it's so much better than doing it during the day. Because when we go to bed, we are a little bit more calm and focused, and our brain and subconscious are probably guiding us a little bit better because we are not in the midst of all day and all the expression of the day. If you want more tricks, please join us every month for the Q&A question at NadineRacing.com.
Now, the Jiggy Jaguar Show on JiggyJaguar.com.
Coast to coast and border to border all over the World Wide Web and on 50-plus stations throughout the U.S. and Canada. Also, the iHeartRadio app. That is a big get for us the last couple weeks, so we thank you for checking us out over there on iHeartRadio. We've got Brenda Robinson with us today. She has a fantastic, fantastic book out, Through Shirley's Eyes. And Brenda is with us today here on the program and joins us live as live can get. If you want to get more information on this incredible book, check it out on Amazon. Also, Brenda, do you have a website or anything we can direct people to?
You know what? At this time, it's under construction, so I am using my Amazon.com.
That's
because
cool.
it will also give them a chance to read a little bit about the book too, and read some of the reviews.
Now, tell me about some of the reviews. I'm assuming they are just out of the box positive. Tell me about some of the reviews for the book.
People are saying things like they can't put it down. It reminded them of when they were young. It gave them insight. Some of the younger readers that don't know anything about that life, they said it got them gave them a chance to see how life was before, you know, and how sometimes it was a kind of a humbling situation, but the people overcame. You know, they were able to see their way through, and that uplifted them and gave them a lot of confidence and feeling good about themselves.
It's a great guest with us today. Through Shirley's Eyes is the latest from Brenda Sue Robinson. She joins us today here on the program. Tell me about the cover of the book. That is a really cool picture.
Oh yeah, this is a picture. At first, I had thought, okay, Through Shirley's Eyes. Okay, so I was going to concentrate on the eyes, you know, put a pair of glasses on the cover and have it looking through the glasses and see it come clear and all around it be cloudy. But then I said, no, I came across this picture. My eyes fell on a picture, because this is the picture we have around the house, is that I looked at it and I said, I think this should be the cover. Because it's something about it that's warm, that draws a person to it, and it makes them wonder about it. Because when I was at the military bases doing book signings, many times that's exactly what drew people. They saw this from the distance, and I could see them peeping at the book, and they would walk around, and then they'd say, well, tell me about this book. This book looks so interesting. And I would tell them, and 9 times out of 10, they would buy it. And the little girl that's standing there with the hat on is Shirley. The middle person is my mother, and who she's holding is my sister Gail. I wasn't born yet, so I'm not in the picture, but I consider it an honor to write about my sister, who is a wonderful person. She's just not an ordinary person. She's a person that all her life she's been given so much responsibility. When she was at the age of 13, she was took over a whole household. We were in Virginia. My father was stationed there, and I was with my mother, and Gail was with her. And Shirley was there in Louisiana. She stayed because she felt my grandmother needed her. And so my grandmother's husband died. He got killed in a train wreck. And so my grandmother, as a result of that, just lost all contact with reality. She just lost, instantly went out, and it was on Shirley to take over the whole household at 13 years old. Get her aunt. We have 2 aunts, younger aunts, that were like under her. She had to take care of them. She had to buy. She had to pay bills. She had to get everybody to school. She had to keep the house clean. She had to do it all, and she was able to do it with excellence. And that's the kind of personality that she has. And even now, everybody in the family calls her for advice. Everybody looks to her for leadership. She went on, even though she was, till that time, nobody really had gone to college. And so baby brother, who's one of the characters in the book, he's not really a character. He is a character, but he was a character, but he's just one of the people in the book. He had gone on to college, and Shirley was the second to go to college and the first girl. And she graduated from Southern University and went on to get her master's at Wayne State, retired principal, and now she's a principal coach for the city of Detroit.
Wow. that's a hell of a come up.
Really, something else. She really is. She deserves to have a book written about her. She's funny, and she's very insightful. She's a very kind of giving person. She's giving. She'll give until the pot is empty. You know, trying to help people out and trying to encourage people, encourage everybody to go to school, everybody to stay, you know, whatever they do. They don't have to go to school, but whatever their vocation is or whatever, she's always pushing, be the best that you can be all that you can be. And so she's been an inspiration to me as well.
It is a fantastic guest with us today here on the line. And Brenda, this book is just such a treat. Tell me about all the different things that you wanted to include in the book, and maybe some stuff that you didn't include in the book.
You know what? I got talking with Shirley. I said, okay, Shirley, is that all? She said, Carol, that's all I could think of. So I said, we'll get to talking. I mean, after the book was done, we'll get to talking. And she come telling me stories. I'm like, what did you hold that story back? She said, well, I thought I told you. You know, and I said, no, you didn't tell me. So, of course, this is the first of 3 books. plan to do a trilogy. The next book is going to come out about the ages from 13 to when she went to college, and then from the college to when she went on up to Detroit and to her present day. So I'll get a chance, to use that writer technique where you can flash back. So I'm going to do that quite a lot. And one of the stories, too, I like to tell about values. My grandmother was a great teacher of oral history of our family and our values as a person. Shirley was on the way from school. She was with a friend, and she saw a snowball who happened to be a drunk in our neighborhood and the community. And so she saw him. She said, well, she didn't want her friend to know that she knew somebody like Snowball. So he was saying, Cheyenne. And she was ignoring him. And he said, well, I'm going to tell Miss Julia that I was speaking to you and you ignored me. But when she got home, she just knew that my grandmother would take her side because he was a drunk. You don't look down on the drunk. And my grandmother told her, said, now, consider this. What if you were in trouble and the only one there to help you would have been Snowball? But you would have done this to him, hurt his feelings, and he wouldn't be so apt to try to help you out. And so, of course, that made her really stop and think, like, well, what if? She said, you know less than anybody, but you know more than anybody. So that's just one of the little gems of my grandmother.
Well, I'll tell you, that book is fantastic. Tell me about some of the, I guess, a lot of people. There's going to be different people from various backgrounds and various cultures that are going to pick this book up. What are some different things that everybody's going to be able to learn about your culture and just about the way that Shirley was brought up and things of that nature?
Well, one of the major things is the spiritual life that was imparted through my grandmother, and just it's really our lineage, which is at the very core of the Black community, is our spiritual self, is the church. And there's a chapter that What a Friend We Have in Jesus that is there, and I think it shows what it has been and is, I would say, the core of our existence as a people is our dependency, our spiritual life, and also our fun, our sense of fun. Nobody in the whole world is, and I can say this, is more funny and more insightful with their humor than Black people. I mean, they will have you, rolling over the different things that happen. Even in our community, and we call it Oak Street, on Saturday night, there's a chapter here called Saturday Night Live. Saturday Night Live, it was live. It was on and crack-a-lacking in the neighborhood. And people were going up and down the streets. There was Snowball, Big Black Bessie, Mr. Milton. All of these people, every Saturday night, would put on a show. And my grandmother, of course, would not let Shirley and Gail stay out, would run them back into the house. But it was a very lively thing. So I want people to know just how wonderful our communities are, how much music and life existed there. That even though it was like we were poor, you didn't know you were poor. You were rich in life, and you lived your life. And that was one thing that was so beautiful about Shirley, is that he didn't look at her, and that was my really passed down from my grandmother and my mother, is to look beyond where you are and see that the future is bright. And that's exactly what she did. She wasn't held captive by, okay, we were poor, okay, you can't do this because you're poor, you can't do that because you were poor. No. It didn't exist like that in my family. You can do all things, through Christ that strengthens you. You can make it, And so that's what she took on to her life. And that's what she keeps continually, even now, to hand down to us. But that's really one of the things, is how much fun it was and how we're just like anybody else. And I think when people read, and this is what they've come back and told me, is that when they read the book, they can just see, well, wow, this is just like me. And that we really are no different. The only thing different about us is the color of our skin, but our life experience is the same.
It is an amazing book. It's Through Shirley's Eyes. It's Brenda Sue Robinson with us today here on the program, coast to coast and border to border on JiggyJaguar.com, also iHeartRadio as well. And fantastic, fantastic book. It's available on Amazon. What was one of the reviews that you got that you just enjoyed or was shocked by?
Well, you know what? Let's see, which one? It was from a gentleman, and I'm trying to bring this up real quick here so that I can read it verbatim. Is that he had taken such a delight in the book. Give me just one little second. He had taken such a delight in the book that he was really kind of surprised that I guess we were alike. You know, that it was the same. And I'm trying to do this really quick here. You know, but it's the thing is that through Shirley's eyes is through anybody's eyes, through anyone's eyes. You know, so I think that for everybody that's listening and looking for a good book to read, this is the book for you. And I think I have it right here. It is it's like I thoroughly enjoyed this book. The true to life experiences revealed in the book brought back my many childhood memories. Although I was not a product of the South, my parents were, and many of the parenting practices were used with me. I had parents who had little to offer financially due to the war and depression, but they had so much more to offer in love, determination, dignity, and self-worth, making the child strong in spirit. This book shows the spirit that continued to shine through Shirley's eyes because of devotion to education, family, and to God. This is a must-read.
That is a fantastic book. It is 43 minutes after the hour, and I thank you for joining us today. This is a great conversation. Thanks for being on and chatting with us about your book, Through Shirley's Eyes. I definitely enjoyed the conversation.
Okay, and thank you so much. Thank you for having me.
Definitely. Well, have yourself a wonderful day. We'll talk soon. Appreciate it. It is a great guest. We're going to take a time out, and when we come back, we've got more.
Are you out of work? Are you looking to make a lot of money on the internet from the comfort of your home? I have consistently made over $30,000 every month for the past 8 years. I have received daily $900 payments, $1,800 payments, $3,000 payments, and even $10,000 payments. It's fun, it's easy, and beginners are desperately needed right now. Sign up today at www.pcmteambuilder.com/Coupon Joe and make potentially $30,000 a month, just like I did. Again, the website address is www.pcmteambuilder.com/Coupon Joe.
Are you fed up with not having the cash or income you and your family deserve? Are you tired of other people's excuses for why you can't earn what you're worth? Well, what if you could take total command of your financial future right now? What if you could start or buy your own successful business right now and do it with little or no cash of your own? Well, you can, and I'll prove it. I'm Gordon Bazar, and over the last 30 years, I've helped more than 300,000 people do just that. So join me online. Go to my free video at gettingrichyourway.com right now. Find out how you can own your own successful business today. That's gettingrichyourway.com. Gettingrichyourway.com. Get yourself into your own successful business using none of your own cash at gettingrichyourway.com right now.
I'm always looking for great new talk shows to listen to, and I found one. It's called The Mallard Report. From the far beyond to the close to home, you'll hear it all discussed on The Mallard Report with your host, Jim Mallard. The Mallard Report is a paranormal talk show which explores the backstory, the hidden story, and the things other hosts are afraid to discuss. From the secrets of the paranormal to Paula Deen to the government spying on us all, no topic is too taboo for Jim to ignore. The Mallard Report airs live every Tuesday night at 9 p.m. Eastern Time. Listen to The Mallard Report by going to italkparanormal.com. That's the letter I, italkparanormal.com. When you visit italkparanormal.com, you can listen to The Mallard Report 24/7. italkparanormal.com. italkparanormal.com for The Mallard Report.
Attention, everyone. Is your computer getting slow? Are errors popping up all over the screen? You need QuickSpeed PC. Get your free scan today at quickspeedpc.com and speed your computer up like new. That's quickspeedpc.com for your free scan today. Go to quickspeedpc.com today. quickspeedpc.com.
Okay, folks, let's talk about self-development, wealth creation, renewal, and rejuvenation. Are you stuck in a rut? Do you aspire to be something bigger, something better? Well, author Y.E. Shavola has penned 2 incredible books that will help guide you down a new path, a path that will lead towards self-development, wealth creation, renewal, and rejuvenation. Learn how to make your dreams a reality. You owe it to yourself and your loved ones. Y.E. Shavola's books are available on Amazon right now. How to Occupy Till Jesus Comes, Self-Development, and How to Occupy Till Jesus Comes, Wealth Creation. Get them at our website through our Amazon link at jiggyjaguar.com. Find them on Amazon. Check out Y.E. Shavola's incredible books, How to Occupy Till Jesus Comes, Self-Development, and How to Occupy Till Jesus Comes, Wealth Creation. Today on Amazon. Listeners ask us all the time, how can we support the operation? Well, head over to our website at www.jiggyjaguar.com. That's right, jiggyjaguar.com. Click on the Amazon banner on our page. It will take you to Amazon. You will still see all the great prices, all the great selection, all the great convenience. But when you shop Amazon, we get a little bit of a credit from Amazon, and it helps us keep the operation going here. Recently, we had best-selling author, National Award winner Dan Perkinson, and he was talking about Amazon.
I listened to your promotion for Amazon.com. You can buy book 1 and book 2, which just came out.
Look at that.
I encourage your listeners to go there and support your operation.
You don't need to buy anything you don't want or need. You just do what you do on Amazon. Buy everything that you usually buy there, but do it through our link at jiggyjaguar.com. We get a small percentage, as I mentioned earlier, and it helps really fund our operation. Thanks to our friends at Amazon.com, and thanks for you for supporting us, the great listeners of the world-famous Jiggy Jaguar radio broadcast.
This is Chris Markowski, your watchdog on Wall Street. And this is your watchdog on Wall Street. Money Minute. Jobs numbers came out on Friday, and jobs Fridays have been melancholy, to say the least, over this recovery, this so-called recovery that we've been in. Kind of trickling along for a period of time. Nothing too great, nothing too strong. I mean, we've had 4 months in a row of decent numbers coming across, but really not enough to make a dent. Plus, you got to take a look at the internals in regards to this, where the jobs are being created. You also have to take a look at the total hours worked per week, the average hours worked per week. It's just not where we want it to be. We need to get this country once again, get those, what they're called, animal spirits back. People wanting to move and groove, start businesses, and get America back working again. Watchdog on WallStreet.com.
Welcome back to the big broadcast, coast to coast and border to border, all over the World Wide Web and on 50-plus stations throughout the U.S. and Canada, broadcasting live from the Out of the Box Podcast.com studios. It's the world-famous Jiggy Jaguar show. We've got Nick Arnett with us today here on the program. Me, We, and Glee is his latest book, and we're going to be talking to him about the book here in a few moments, but wanted to get him on today to kind of give us an overall and give us a brief introduction on yourself there, my friend.
Well, how are you? What an honor to be on your show, by the way.
Well, thank you much. Appreciate it.
Yeah, well, hey, I'm a comedian and a speaker, master of ceremonies, auctioneer. If it involves talking, that's pretty much what I do, my friend, and I enjoy it. Now, are you in Kansas?
Yes,
Is that where you are now?
We are broadcasting in Kansas today, as well as 50 stations across the country, AM, FM, and satellite.
How about it? Well, I grew up in Denver. In my early days of comedy, I drove all over Kansas. And I used to really enjoy driving through Kansas on I-70, just a straight road all the way through. So you could put your car, in the, cruise control, get in the backseat, take a nap. About 4 hours later, wake up on the other side. You're in Missouri. There it goes.
It is a fantastic guest with us today here on the line. Nick Arnett joins us here on the program, and for this first segment of the broadcast, we want to talk to him about his background here. You have a lot of different things going on over there at nickarnett.com, and that's NICKARNETTE.com. Tell us about your work on the website, the blog, and everything else.
Yeah, well, my book is Me, We, and Glee, How to Have a Great Attitude, Work as a Team, and Keep Your Sense of Humor. So pretty much everything I do revolves around that concept, because I think all three of those go together. We need to have a great attitude and to work with people. We need to have good communication skills, and a sense of humor helps all of that get better. The studies show that the average American, and some of you are listening in Canada now, I don't know about you guys, but you're probably in a better mood. The average American is in a bad mood 3 out of 10 days. Every 3 out of 10 days they're in a bad mood. That's the average. Now, I'm not saying they're in a bad mood all day, but a bad mood hits them about a third of the time. So a third of the listeners out there right now are really ticked off. How about that?
Why is that?
Well, I think there's a lot of things. I think that, particularly, I live in Los Angeles here, and I think one thing is people focus on the wrong things. I think that a lot of people think if they're not happy that something is really wrong. Now, you do a lot of work with nonprofits, correct?
Yes, indeed. Yes, indeed.
Yeah. I work with a nonprofit here, and these are kids that are at risk. They're on drugs, and I talk to them about drugs, and they take drugs because it helps them forget about their problems. They might even go so far as to say that it makes them happy. And the problem with that, when people don't think they're happy, they think something's wrong. So in their case, they use drugs because when they were on drugs, they felt happier than when they weren't on drugs. And eventually they get addicted to trying to feel happy all the time. And the people that really have that thing of trying to feel happy all the time, if that's your goal, you're going to end up being very, very miserable. I think, for instance, I think people should focus more on things that make them joyful, things that are lasting, things like friendships, family, things that are lasting when times are tough that you know you have, and they're independent of the way you feel. Feelings can be very deceitful. And so I think that's a real key, because everything starts with the way we think. Our thoughts control how we feel, and our feelings determine our attitude, and ultimately our attitude determines our behavior. So we just need to focus on the right things, have our priorities correct. That's the start.
It is Nick Arnett joining us today here on the program, Coast to Coast and Border to Border, talking about his incredible book. It is Me, We, and Glee, and he joins us today live from nickarnett.com. And Nick, you do lots of different things on social media. You're a public speaker. How did you get started doing the public speaking thing?
Well, I started out in Denver, and Denver seems to be the home of a lot of the speakers around the country. They all to be based there. I just happened to be born in the Denver area and grew up there, And so they had a chapter of the National Speakers Association there, and I was very active in that. And then at all that time doing comedy, I started comedy March 26, 1984. It was a whole lot of fun. There was a big boom of comedy at that time, and there was somebody who was a star in Denver, but relatively unknown around the country. Her name was Roseanne Barr, and it was really fun because I was just starting my comedy when her career was just starting to blossom on a national level. So that was a whole lot of fun to see somebody that I knew become a major star. So it was a great town for comedy, and like I was saying earlier, I had a lot of these one-nighter gigs through Kansas. That's when I started. I would drive all day long, and from one town in Kansas to another, and Stanford and Sons there in Kansas City. Used to work that a whole lot, and I would do the midnight show. I do the midnight show in Kansas City there at Stanford and Sons, and drive back to Denver straight through Kansas after the show. How about that?
Wow.
Crazy days.
Amazing stuff.
And you know what I learned, by the way, anybody out there that drives a lot, I learned that sunflower seeds are a good way to help stay awake when you're driving.
Okay. Well,
I just thought I would pass that on. That's not in the book, so that's a freebie, a takeaway for all of you out there.
It is a great guest with us today here on the broadcast. Now, tell us about the book. How'd you come to write it and everything else?
Well, I do a lot of public speaking, and this was pretty much what I talk about, and I'd been talking about it for over 10 years. And I just thought, well, and actually a Speakers Bureau said, hey, you know what? You really need to have a book. And I didn't really so much think. I'd had a book before that, and I've had it for a long time. It's called The Book of Dude. It's a joke book, but it's not a content book. It's just jokes. Like, for instance, I can name a dude. You know the word dude? You ever think it'll catch on all over the world? Like you'd be in Italy, they'd call you Doodolini. They'd see in Mexico, they'd say Madudo. Name a country. I'll try to name a dude from it. Any country.
Tasmania.
That's not. I'll say Devil Dude, Tasmanian Devil. But Colombia would be Juan Dude. Antarctica is the cool dude. A dude you think you've seen before is the Deja Dude. Anyway, it's just dude jokes. They're silly, but you can hear a few of them on my website if you want to check them out. And also the Book of Dude is also available on Amazon and Barnes & Noble and any e-reader as well. So a little plug for that. But anyway, I put the book together so people could have these things, and I actually wrote. It's written in a style too where you can add if you actually get the paper book, that you can actually take notes and write some of your own ideas along with it. And one thing I like about it a lot, I don't know about you, but I start a lot of books and I don't finish them because I just don't have the time. You can read this whole book in a couple hours, and I like that about it. And the people that I have read it say the same thing. It's good practical information. I would even a tune-up. I think a lot of these things might just be reminders of things that we knew, but we just have forgotten about them.
Well, it's an incredible piece of business. How did you come up with the title for this book?
Well, actually, I was doing a workshop for the Kohler. Kohler. Who are the people that make the? That's Kohler. Is it Kohler?
I believe so. Yeah.
Yeah, I was doing a presentation for them, and they asked me, "What are we going to call this presentation?" Because they told me what they wanted in the presentation, and they wanted some humor. They wanted something about teamwork and and attitude. And I said, well, I called it a little me, a little glee, and a little thee. And then I said, okay, me, we, and glee. Would that be a little easier? So that's what I did. And then the subtitle, I put a subtitle on it just to say exactly what the book's about: how to have a great attitude, work as a team, and keep your sense of humor. Because we're really, really, really stressed out. They say 60 to 90% of the doctor visits are directly attributed to maladaptive stress. And humor, of course, is a wonderful tool for combating the stress. I also want humor in the workplace. I'll just touch on that briefly. There's a couple things about humor in the workplace. One, how do you know when there's too much humor in the work environment? And the answer is pretty simple. It's when the humor turns into goofing off. But humor can certainly boost your creativity levels. So I think it should be encouraged in the work environment. But one thing to be careful of, very careful of, when you're using humor in the work environment is that it's appropriate. Just anything you put out, just plan that anybody in the country could hear it, and you don't, because every day you see some kind of scandal of people that thought they were being funny. They put a little in-house video together, and then it gets leaked, and then it turns out to be offensive to people. So be on the lookout for that. Avoid sarcastic humor as well. Sarcastic humor is what there is a lot of in the work environment. And what happens with sarcastic humor is it puts people on the defensive. And then when people are on the defensive, they're going to want to retaliate with something that's even more sarcastic than was put on them. And it just it doesn't foster teamwork. And it just creates a negative work environment and can be very hurtful as well.
It is a great book. It is a great guest with us today here on the program. As we wrap up here, my friend, any other things that we need to be aware of with this great book?
Well, I think that we didn't touch on teamwork very much, but we need to be aware of that teamwork does not come naturally. Not even, for instance, anybody that has a child will know this, or anybody that's ever been around a child. They have this thing called a mine syndrome. You'll get even anywhere near them when they have a particular toy, and they'll grab it away and they'll say, "Mine, not yours." And I think that's just a natural inclination. And particularly as Americans, we don't foster the notion of teamwork so much because we're geared to be the best individual we can be, not the best team we can be. And an example of that would be just to think of your favorite sports team or your favorite band, and the people you think of right away are the big stars in the band or on the sports team. And but everyone else is a member of that team. But we never really think about them. We don't give them the glory, but we super glorify the stars in our culture. So teamwork is a very vague term, but it needs to be defined, not only in the work environment, but even your family. You ask people what is a team, and you need to agree on what that is and hold each other accountable for that.
Well, it is a fantastic interview. I appreciate you being with us today. Thanks for being on.
It was really fun. I hope to talk with you again, and truly an honor, my friend.
Definitely. Well, have yourself.
Are you out of work? Are you looking to make a lot of money on the internet from the comfort of your home? I have consistently made over $30,000 every month for the past 8 years. I have received daily $900 payments, $1,800 payments, $3,000 payments, and even $10,000 payments. It's fun, it's easy, and beginners are desperately needed right now. Sign up today at www.pcmteambuilder.com/Coupon Joe and make potentially $30,000 a month, just like I did. Again, the website address is www.pcmteambuilder.com/Coupon Joe.
I'm always looking for great new talk shows to listen to, and I found one. It's called The Mallard Report. From the far beyond to the close to home, you'll hear it all discussed on The Mallard Report with your host, Jim Mallard. The Mallard Report is a paranormal talk show which explores the backstory, the hidden story, and the things other hosts are afraid to discuss. From the secrets of the paranormal to Paula Deen to the government spying on us all, no topic is too taboo for Jim to ignore. The Mallard Report airs live every Tuesday night at 9 p.m. Eastern Time. Listen to The Mallard Report by going to italkparanormal.com. That's the letter I, italkparanormal.com. When you visit italkparanormal.com, you can listen to The Mallard Report 24/7. italkparanormal.com. italkparanormal.com for The Mallard Report.
What can Plexus do for you? It isn't a secret that being overweight has become a worldwide epidemic. In addition to normal concerns of clothes not fitting, lack of energy, and low self-esteem, being overweight can lead to dramatic increases in diabetes, heart disease, cancer, stroke, arthritis, and depression. Consider the following. 8 out of 10 Americans over the age of 25 are overweight. 174 million Americans are overweight or obese. Then worldwide numbers are just crazy. They're expected to double by 2030. 25.8 million children and adults in the United States have diabetes as well. If you're like millions of others, you've probably tried this diet or that pill, but you never got the results you wanted. In fact, the Centers for Disease Control reports that 95% of all diets and weight loss programs fail. Finally, there's an all-natural, healthy solution to help you lose weight. Originally made for diabetics, Plexus Slim is now available. PlexusPinkDrinkHealth.com. People around the country are experiencing amazing results, and you can too. It's www.PlexusPinkDrinkHealth.com. Techno-Mall.com. Over 2 million homes are burglarized in America each year. Remove your risk of burglary with secure, remote, invisible locks. Without a lock to pick, burglars will struggle to find a way into your home or your business. You can even secure your windows and glass entryways as well. Check out Techno-Mall.com for more information. Techno-Mall.com.
How many of you would like to make an extra $21,000 in the next 21 days? Call 678-318-1896 right now for all the details. How many of you would like to receive cash daily to your doorstep? Call 678-318-1896 right now for all the details. What if you had a turnkey system that did all the sorting, sifting, and selling for you? Call 678-318-1896 right now for all the details.
Listeners ask us all the time, how can we support the operation? Head over to our website at www.jiggyjaguar.com. That's right, jiggyjaguar.com. Click on the Amazon banner on our page. It will take you to Amazon. You will still see all the great prices, all the great selection, all the great convenience. But when you shop Amazon, we get a little bit of a credit from Amazon, and it helps us keep the operation going here. Recently, we had best-selling author, National Award winner Dan Perkins on, and he was talking about Amazon.
I listened to your promotion for Amazon.com. You can buy book 1 and book 2, which just came out.
Look at that.
I encourage your listeners to go there and support your operation.
You don't need to buy anything you don't want or need. You just do what you do on Amazon. Buy everything that you usually buy there, but do it through our link at jiggyjaguar.com. We get a small percentage, as I mentioned earlier, and it helps really fund our operation. Thanks to our friends at Amazon.com, and thanks for you for supporting us, the great listeners of the world-famous Jiggy Jaguar radio broadcast.
This is your radio philosopher, Eric Papp, bringing you your thought of the day, freedom. It's that time of the year that's a great reminder of our freedom and for all those that sacrificed for us. On June 6, 1944, more than 160,000 Allied troops landed amongst the beach on Normandy, and they fought for our freedom. More than 5,000 ships and 13,000 aircraft to support our freedom and to fight the Nazis. By the end of the day, 9,000 Allied soldiers were killed or wounded. And it's a great reminder to us all of Ronald Reagan's quote, "Freedom is never more than one generation away from extinction. We didn't pass it to our children in the bloodstream. It must be fought for, protected, and handed on to them to do the same." To recommend a thought of the day, you can email me, eric@ericpapp.com. Thanks, and remember, be responsible, stay powerful.
Welcome back to the world-famous Jiggy Jaguar Show, coast to coast and border to border, all over the World Wide Web, on iHeartRadio today as well, and tune in and Radio Loyalty and live 24/7 at jiggyjaguar.com. We've got a fabulous group of regulars that we've got back with us today. Donald Mazzella and Dan Perkins join us on the telephone. And, gentlemen, I want to take this first segment and discuss the Bergdahl situation. Whichever one of you guys wants to jump in there, and let's do a quick discussion here. Good 15 minutes on the Bergdahl situation.
You want to go first, Donald?
I'll let you go first. And call me Don.
Okay,
we know each
all
other
right.
long enough. Only my mother called me Donald when I did something wrong.
Oh, okay. Well, maybe, okay. Great question. Great question. As you know, Joe, I'm not bashful. I think it was an asinine move. I think that this administration continually doesn't understand or give it any thought to the concept of unintended consequences. They don't think. They basically react and make decisions. You know, and because they lied, and they're allowed to under Sharia law, because they lied, they're constantly, you know, what a man said to me many, many years ago, if you tell the truth, you never have to worry about what you say. If you lie, you don't have a good enough memory. Well, obviously, nobody in the administration has a good enough memory to remember what they said because they get caught in their lies all the time. You know, when an organization says that the biggest liar in 2013 was the President of the United States, what does that say about what the people think about him as a leader and as a person? I mean, it's atrocious. How do you trade a lower class, low rank infantry person for 5 leaders of Al-Qaeda? What is the logic of that? There is none. It was absolutely stupid, and it's no wonder that the rest of the country is outraged at that kind of decision.
Don, what do you think about this? This is an odd situation. I know that you've been speaking on many national radio programs and a lot of the alternative media about this. Do you agree with Dan's point, or am I going to be shocked and you're going to disagree?
I was just saying off the air that we have to disagree more to get more airtime. But let me say 3 things. I do think the president's team thinks, but only in terms of how it's going to play to the American public and how it does politically. I think they are one of the most myopic group of advisors any president has ever had in our history. And having said that, I just came across the AP wire just a few minutes ago. A House Committee on Security just adopted, interestingly, with 13 Democrats concurring. No, I'm sorry, they were the only ones that disagreed. That preventing the president from spending money to transfer prisoners henceforth. I don't know where it goes, but when you get Democrats agreeing with Republicans on an issue like this, you know that the president made, and I'll use the word, it's a great word, asinine decision.
Yeah, but Don, you got to admit that the president. I heard what you said, that they're inane and inept. I agree with that. But if you're trying to convince me that they make decisions based on the politics and what they think the American people will buy, the American people didn't buy this slice of horse pucky. They didn't buy that from the very beginning. And what was amazing is how the press, who has been very supportive of the president from the day he walked in the door, have become antagonistic against him because they understand that what the administration, it's like the release of these 5 hostages, a 5-for-1 deal. You know, I would say to Joe, do you want him negotiating your deals for you? I don't think so.
No, but let me.
Would you buy a new car from that guy? Probably not.
Well, but what's happening? What I call the re-education of America is going on. There's a real drumbeat. I opened the editorial pages of my local newspaper today, and there were 3 articles about why the decision was a good decision. What you're starting to see now is the drumbeat of people trying to change the American people's mind. Whether they succeed or not, I hope not, but that's still open. But what
do you think that those people who wrote those articles, Don, are conservative Democrats?
Oh, God knows. But we're talking media now. I'm not talking. What I worry about is this mass communication, and I think I'm a lot older than you guys, and I don't go onto these media boards and look all around. But I'm told by one of my younger colleagues that there is a vast propaganda machine operating right now on the internet and other places, and now in the my newspaper is a Main Street newspaper. The New York Times has already gotten on the bandwagon and said, well, maybe it's not so bad. And other publications, you're starting to see people trying to explain and justify the decisions. I think you're right. The American public rejected it at the beginning, scared the pants out of the White House, and they revved up their propaganda machine.
I heard one of the best lines was by, I think it was Charles Krautheimer said, Susan Rice should not get out of bed on Sunday morning.
I heard that line too, and I think it's absolutely true. But then again,
and then I heard they're eventually going to get rid of her, and she's going to wind up being the president of Wellesley College. I mean, it's amazing to me. I actually saw a clip last night of a liberal, clearly a liberal reporter, and these were his exact words. See if they sound familiar. What does it matter? That's what Hillary said. What does it matter? What does it matter we traded 5 for 1? Because if you believe that these people, maybe there's a question here, Don. Maybe the question is, one of the reasons why we've not had a major attack on the United States is because those jerks were in Guantanamo Bay. And now that they're out, maybe we can expect something.
Now, that's a very interesting observation. I heard that on another program I was on Sunday night. And, that's a real fear that I have. And I live right next to New York City, so I worry about it. Let's agree on the fact it was a dumb move made for political reasons. And did you see that tweet from the father that was taken off real quick? That how he's said that, if I remember the quote correctly, I don't take as detailed notes as you do. That he looked forward to the destruction of all people who kill Islamic children. It was up and then it went down. I mean, it was a terrible decision. It's going to come back to bite us in the you-know-where. And, it's just one more of a long litany of things that this man has done that I think hurt this country profoundly. Thank God he's thinking about where he's going to live. Unfortunately, it's going to be New York City after he leaves.
I tell you, let me tell you what my greatest concern is. My greatest concern is that when he made the decision not to tell the Congress that there was a law that he signed into effect that said that they had to give Congress, the leaders of Congress, 30 days notice. He didn't do that. Let me tell you what I think is happening. I think that this man, somebody said recently that Barack Obama is the president that Richard Nixon always wanted to be. And I think what's going to happen here is that we're going to have a president who is going to be out of control. I think if he loses the November election, that the Democrats lose control of the Senate, and the Republicans have the Senate and the House. And I spoke on a radio show a month and a half ago where I predicted that nobody's talking about it, although I did hear a little rumbling about it yesterday, that if you look at the math, the numbers, if you look at the numbers, if 75% of the sitting Democrats in the House get reelected and all the Republicans get reelected, then the House has a Republican majority great enough to override a presidential veto. The pollster for the Democratic Party is saying that the Democrats could lose up to 11 seats in the Senate. That puts them within 6. I believe that those people, that the Democrats who are going to run for re-election, are going to run against the president. So you could have a situation where legislation goes into the Congress, the new Congress in January, the repeal of Obamacare. The president vetoes it. It goes to the House, overrides, goes to the Senate, and overrides by 1 vote. And I think he goes ballistic, because I think he will use his executive orders to do anything he wants to do for the remaining 2 years of his term. And that's where we as a nation are incredibly vulnerable to a president totally out of control.
Well, let's do this, gentlemen. We're going to take a quick timeout here, and when we come back, we're going to chat with Don Mazzella and, of course, our good friend Dan Perkins about the latest round of shootings. And I want to bring up a Joe Rogan quote, and I want to get your thoughts on that, gentlemen. We've got more when we get back here on the program.
Are you looking to start your own successful online business on 100% hands-off autopilot for only $9? That's right. For a one-time payment of only $9, you can get paid up to $600,000. Thousands of Americans have joined, and they are making tens of thousands and even hundreds of thousands of dollars, and they all started with just $9. Absolutely no experience is necessary. You are paid immediately and instantly. Join thousands of others and make up to $600,000. Sign up right now at www.goo.gl/S as in Sam, W, capital F as in Fred, 1AQ. Again, that's www.goo.gl/S as in Sam, W, capital F as in Fred, 1AQ. Are you out of work? Are you looking to make a lot of money on the internet from the comfort of your home? I have consistently made over $30,000 every month for the past 8 years. It's fun, it's easy, and beginners are desperately needed right now. Sign up today at www.goo.gl/capital W, capital N, 0, lowercase x, lowercase u, the number 9. And potentially make over $30,000 a month, just like I did. Again, the website address is www.goo.gl/capital W, capital N, 0, lowercase x, lowercase u, the number 9.
I'm always looking for great new talk shows to listen to, and I found one. It's called The Mallard Report. From the far beyond to the close to home, you'll hear it all discussed on The Mallard Report with your host, Jim Mallard. The Mallard Report is a paranormal talk show which explores the backstory, the hidden story, and the things other hosts are afraid to discuss. From the secrets of the paranormal to Paula Deen to the government spying on us all, no topic is too taboo for Jim to ignore. The Mallard Report airs live every Tuesday night at 9 p.m. Eastern Time. Listen to The Mallard Report by going to italkparanormal.com. That's the letter I, italkparanormal.com. When you visit italkparanormal.com, you can listen to The Mallard Report 24/7. italkparanormal.com. italkparanormal.com for The Mallard Report.
Attention, everyone. Is your computer getting slow? Are errors popping up all over the screen? You need Quick Speed PC. Get your free scan today at quickspeedpc.com and speed your computer up like new. That's quickspeedpc.com for your free scan today. Go to quickspeedpc.com today. quickspeedpc.com.
Somewhere over the rainbow lies a pot of gold that's sure to make your next fundraising event a huge success. Rainbow Dust, the innovative and exciting project that is a must-have for any fundraiser, is the hottest interactive candy product on the market today. Visit www.myrainbowdust.com to see how Rainbow Dust can add magic to your next function. Find out why kids will be standing in line for their turn at making their own delicious Rainbow Dust candy creation. Use the promo code RADIO2 to receive free ground shipping. MyRainbowDust.com. Let the magic begin.
The The response has been overwhelming, and we thank you guys for shopping the Amazon link at JiggyJaguar.com. Check it out today at JiggyJaguar.com. Recently, we spoke to another guest on our radio program, and he had this to say about Amazon.
I know you guys work with Amazon a lot. It's
Yes.
the #1 mouthwash on Amazon.
We're not asking you to buy anything you don't want or need. You know you're going to do your shopping at Amazon. You might as well help out the broadcast at the same time. To help out our operation, check out JiggyJaguar.com. That's JiggyJaguar.com. And thanks for supporting the world-famous Jiggy Jaguar Show.
This is Chris Markowski, Watchdog on Wall Street. This is your Watchdog on Wall Street. Money a minute. Well, this is a topic that it's making the news. We've had conversations in regards to this for the past several months in immigration, and Republicans and Democrats coming together with some sort of immigration bill, some sort of immigration reform. What we have right now is an absolute disaster, a humanitarian crisis. Because of the floundering, what might happen, what might not happen, we've got thousands, they're now predicting upwards of 90,000 children, babies, that are going to be coming across our border. Yeah, it's not so much from Mexico, it's from Central America as well. How are we going to handle this? We are so woefully unprepared. I don't know. Like I said, it's absolute disarray, humanitarian disaster. You got to see some of these pictures. WatchdogOnWallStreet.com.
Back to the Jiggy Jaguar Show on the network.
Welcome back to the program, coast to coast and border to border on iHeartRadio today, JiggyJaguar.com, KJAG Radio Studios in downtown Edison, Kansas. We're live 2 to 5 Central, 3 to 6 Eastern, and 12 to 3 Pacific. Our second segment here with Donald Mazzella and Dan Perkins is coming at you right now. And gentlemen, there was a quote that I saw, probably I would say several days ago. It was a quote that was attributed to Joe Rogan. He said that we don't have a what was that? I'm trying to figure. I had it pulled up here, and then of course I had to check email, and then we had the issue. But I'll look that up, and I'll get to that here in just a few seconds. But let's talk about let's take this segment and talk about what Christopher Markowski and our Watchdog on Wall Street Money Minute there was talking about immigration. Gentlemen, what are your thoughts on what's going on with immigration? Why don't you guys start, and we'll go from there.
I think that... Sure, go ahead, Don.
Okay. I'm the son of an immigrant and grandson of immigrants. So I'm kind of a little close to that. First off, we're all immigrants to this country, including the Indians, as the archaeologists are proving. So, we're always going to have an influx of it, and it's always interesting. We don't see... Russia doesn't have that problem. Most other countries don't. We're the only ones that have the problem. Why is that? Because we're the country that gives opportunity to everybody. And having said that, that's my soapbox. I'd like to say on that point, no one has a coherent policy. Neither party, I think, has a coherent policy on it. The Democrats are milking it because they want to solidify the Hispanic vote, and the Republicans are trying to straddle both issues, and no one's really come up with a sensible solution. Whatever it is, though, it should include something to... you have to earn your citizenship. You just can't be given it. That's my point on it, and I think that's close to the Republican view, and that's what I believe. And that's the stumbling block. The Democrats want to give it to them. Republicans want to earn it. If you put it in those terms, maybe we could come to a compromise. That's my take.
I'm going to, believe it or not, Joe, I'm going to disagree with what he said. I think immigration is a global problem. If you spend any time in Europe, you find that the Muslim population in Paris and in France is taking over the city, and it's destroying the French culture. You go to London, the Muslim population in Muslim is changing the culture in London. And the people in England and in Ireland and in Scotland and in Wales and in France and Germany and the Czech Republic, all of them are angry that they're losing their culture because of the immigration and the favoritism that is being shown to Muslims. So they've got a problem in all these countries in the world. We have a problem. It may be a different problem. What really, really, I can't say the word, Joe, but what really gets me mad about all of this immigration crap.
Yeah.
Yesterday, if you saw, 57,000 veterans have been unable to get appointments at VA facilities, but we will take illegal aliens into hospitals and give them free medical care. There's something fundamentally wrong there. Something. And so the idea that we have laws of immigration. We have an immigration policy in this country. It's how you become a citizen of the United States. And the idea that we would think about allowing 11, 12, 17, 20, I don't care what the number is, we're going to give amnesty to these people for coming in the wrong way, coming in illegally. I'm sure you've read the articles where young children are coming across the border to the point that Arizona and Texas and Southern California are inundated because they have no place to put these young children who are coming across the border because they're underage and they can come here and seek asylum and get benefits. It's insane that we're not enforcing and deporting these people, and we're doing it somewhat for what Don is saying, but we're doing it because not that we need a new policy, we need to enforce the laws of this country. Now, my book 3 is coming out in July, and one of the things that's in this, it's fiction. It's the third book in the trilogy. But one of the ways the President of the United States has got to deal with the problem of how does this country recover after a nuclear attack, he shuts the borders, and anybody who can't come within 12 months with a card that says they're in this country illegally are arrested and deported. They're sent out of the country. We have to protect, as another talk show host says, our borders, our language, and our culture.
Yes, indeed. The great Michael Savage. Thank you for quoting him. We've got Donald Mazzella, Dan Perkins with us today here on the program, and we're going to take another quick time out. When we come back, we are going to chat with them a little bit more, so keep it locked, keep it loaded here to the world-famous Jiggy Jaguar Show.
Are you looking to start your own successful online business on 100% hands-off autopilot for only $9? That's right. For a one-time payment of only $9, you can get paid up to $600,000. Thousands of Americans have joined, and they are making tens of thousands and even hundreds of thousands of dollars, and they all started with just $9. Absolutely no experience is necessary. You are paid immediately and instantly. Join thousands of others and make up to $600,000. Sign up right now at www.goo.gl/S as in Sam, W, capital F as in Fred, 1AQ. Again, that's www.goo.gl/S as in Sam, W, capital F as in Fred, 1AQ.
I'm always looking for great new talk shows to listen to, and I found one. It's called The Mallard Report. From the far beyond to the close to home, you'll hear it all discussed on The Mallard Report with your host, Jim Mallard. The Mallard Report is a paranormal talk show which explores the backstory, the hidden story, and the things other hosts are afraid to discuss. From the secrets of the paranormal to Paula Deen to the government spying on us all, no topic is too taboo for Jim to ignore. The Mallard Report airs live every Tuesday night at 9 p.m. Eastern Time. Listen to The Mallard Report by going to italkparanormal.com. That's the letter I, italkparanormal.com. When you visit italkparanormal.com, you can listen to The Mallard Report 24/7. italkparanormal.com. italkparanormal.com for The Mallard Report.
Attention, everyone. Is your computer getting slow? Are errors popping up all over the screen? You need Quick Speed PC. Get your free scan today at quickspeedpc.com and speed your computer up like new. That's quickspeedpc.com for your free scan today. Go to quickspeedpc.com today. quickspeedpc.com.
Somewhere over the rainbow lies a pot of gold that's sure to make your next fundraising event a huge success. Rainbow Dust, the innovative and exciting project that is a must-have for any fundraiser, is the hottest interactive candy product on the market today. Visit www.myrainbowdust.com to see how Rainbow Dust can add magic to your next function. Find out why kids will be standing in line for their turn at making their own delicious Rainbow Dust candy creation. Use the promo code RADIO2 to receive free ground shipping. MyRainbowDust.com. Let the magic begin.
Welcome to the Racing to Success Minute with Nadine Lajoie. Always pay attention to your numbers, either for your sales, your phone calls, your employees, how much money they are bringing in, how much clients they are taking care of every day or every week, and what do you do exactly every day. Today is my 100th Racing to Success Minute, and just realized that it's already 5 months that I do those Racing to Success Minutes. Numbers are often a milestones, and when you fix your goals, that will be easier to reach if you are really following your numbers. On your bank account, this is even more important because you need to be sure that your inflow and your cash flow in your business are always matching with Nadine at NadineRacing.com.
Now, the Jiggy Jaguar Show on JiggyJaguar.com.
Welcome back to the big program, coast to coast and border to border. Don Mazzella, Dan Perkins back with us. This is regarding kind of this whole situation with the guns and all the all that. Joe Rogan was recently quoted as saying that this country has a mental health problem disguised as a gun problem and a tyranny problem disguised as a security problem. Gentlemen, I'm going to let you jump in there and give me your thoughts on this.
Well, both of us live outside of New York City.
Yep.
2 weekends ago, 2 children were stabbed to death stabbed and one died in an elevator in the projects.
Yep.
With knives, not guns. They didn't get shot. Nobody seemed to want to ban knives. Nobody want to said, we shouldn't have a knife over 6 inches or 8 inches or 10 or 2 or 4. No discussion. Nothing about regulating knives. I think you're absolutely correct. There's a reason why, in the vast majority of these shootings, the shooter takes his own life. And it has nothing to do with the weapon. It has everything to do with mental health. I'm 60, I'll be 69 years old next month. And I remember back in Columbus, Ohio, when I was a young man, when they changed the laws about incarcerating mentally ill patients, and the liberals decided they need to assimilate into society, and they closed all the institutions and let everybody out. Some of them went to safe homes and all that stuff, but they basically abandoned the mental health of people who desperately needed help, and as a result, you have a system that no longer provides any significant mental health counseling because we want to be politically correct and not categorize a person as somebody who has mental health issues. But it is something going on in our society, and I watch Bill O'Reilly on a regular basis, and he's on this tear, which I think is correct. He thinks that one of the reasons why these shooters shoot is that it's a manifestation of the breakdown of the basic unit of family in our society. He's talking about women no longer don't get pregnant. He's talking about fathers being responsible. He's talking about basic fundamental values. If you have a home where you have a broken home, where you've got a child who's not getting any attention, doesn't get the love and care and motivation that he or she needs, they become the dark side. Yep. And I believe that we've failed as a country because we are so frickin' politically correct that we won't admit that it isn't the gun that kills people, it's people who kill people. And if we can't get them a gun, if they can't get a gun, the logic is, on the left, is, well, then that'll stop the killing. No, because in New York, the guy couldn't get a gun, so he used a knife to kill people. So the idea that we're using a tangible item, a weapon, to decide how we're not going to treat people who have mental illness is a joke. And until we accept the ability to try and figure out how to help people in general who are dealing with mental illness and depression and all the other facets. I mean, I know what it's like to deal with a child who has some mental problems, and we got him the help, and it wasn't easy to get the help, and it was expensive. But the point is, you have to deal with it. But if there's no family structure there or not an infrastructure to deal with them, mental health workers who have no time to deal with people, I realize I'm on my soapbox.
Hey, that's fine. Keep going, my friend.
But it just burns me. This is another example of how political correctness has corrupted the posture of American culture and society.
Boy, I wish I could find something to disagree with you on, but I can't. My 2 cents on it, the city's reaction to that particular incident was to say, why didn't we have more lights and more television? More lights, not more television, more lights in the projects. To build on Dan's statement, part of the problem is the government funds legal organizations who act as protectors of these people, and we've so changed the laws that when we see someone, look, the murderers, alleged murderers, parole officer was trying to get him incarcerated, and they were fighting her on it. And they said, "Why were you doing it?" Well, the answer is to try to prevent exactly what occurred. We seem to have bent over the backwards to try to get people on the streets rather, and to use Dan's term, the care they need. Yes, asylums are terrible, but the alternative for law-abiding people is equally terrible, and the innocents are being hurt by it. And the breakdown in the family, last year was the first year that there were more legitimate births. No, that's now politically incorrect.
Yes.
Non-married couples actually fell below 50% for the first time.
Yeah.
We have a situation in this country where we seem to be protecting certain classes and ignoring other classes. We're ignoring the middle class. We're ignoring the working poor. My UPS driver works days. His wife works nights as a nurse's aides. So one of them will be home. They're black. One of them can be home for their children at all times. Does he get help? No, he's a UPS driver. He doesn't qualify for everything, though they have one of the great health care plans.
Yes,
they don't qualify for any government assistance.
Yeah, but see, I think there's another issue here, and it's it's I don't want to sound overly simplistic, but I believe it to be true. We have a culture in our society today. We have 92 million people unemployed. 92 million people unemployed. We have 48 million people on food stamps. We have a culture that says you no longer need to try and succeed because the government will take care of you. And as a result, it seems to me that we've got a situation where if we were able to get this economy growing, where we could put people to work, then we can put people to work, take them off the public dole, provide income for them to get the care what they need for their children or whoever, but change the whole psyche. My son and daughter-in-law are millenniums, and I had a long conversation with them not too long ago, and about what is the opportunity in America. And they're not sure that there is any opportunity in America, or that anybody can change it. And I said, I know that I understand that you believe that, but the reality that you have to come to understand is, yes, it is possible for one man to change it. First of all, one man did change it, that's Barack Obama, but another man changed it in 1980 with the election of Ronald Reagan. One man can make a difference. People can change what's going on. But if we continue this dependency, as Don said, on the government for everything, my son works for a company that's enforcing the Obama phone contracts, and he told me as they started taking over the case, there were examples of people had 50 phones, and they had to make a choice of which one they were going to use. Well, they were selling them on the street so people could make calls for free. A whole culture. There's a lack of responsibility as long as the government will provide for you. Well, as it deals with the whole mental health situation, if we put people back to work, guess what happens? We put more money in the coffers of the government to be able to do things. But when the government has to tax and tax and tax and destroys the economy, it has less and less money because it has to borrow more and more money. It has to pay the debt service in order to survive, and it has less and less money to provide programs. Putting people back to work, millions and millions of people back to work, will provide the money that can be used to generate the care for these people that they need.
Well, gentlemen, I hate to cut you guys off, but we've got to go. We're looking forward to talking to you guys next week. Before we let you guys go, let's get the plugs in there. Gentlemen, mention the books and how we can find you guys online.
Well, I'll go first. My website is www.danperkins, the word at Sanibel, SANIBEL.com, and Book 1 and Book 2 are available on the website. And hopefully by the time we talk next week, Joe, the audiobook of Book 1 will be available at Amazon,
Looking
iTunes,
forward to it.
and I'm excited about it.
Donald, how do we find you online, sir?
Well, I want to do something totally different. I just produced a video on medical marijuana. I interviewed patients of medical marijuana who use medical marijuana, and it's a very powerful statement. I know in this show it might seem I don't believe in consumer marijuana, but I certainly believe in medical marijuana. It's on YouTube. It's YouTube/marijuana content. I urge everybody to view it because it's a powerful statement as to why we should have controlled medical marijuana in this country, because it's a very powerful tool to help an awful lot of people, particularly older people. I'm shocked at how good it came because of the people that came on and shared it, including an NFL quarterback.
That's cool stuff. I definitely would love to have you on have you on at some point, and we can bat that around. Maybe we can talk about that next week with one of our segments. Gentlemen, have yourself a wonderful day, and we'll talk to you guys next week. Appreciate it.
Thank you for having us on. Take care.
Thank you
Thanks,
for having
gentlemen.
us.
Donald Mazzella and Dan Perkins, we're taking a quick time out here, and Rachel from Popbox is on the way.
I'm always looking for great new talk shows to listen to, and I found one. It's called The Mallard Report. From the far beyond to the close to home, you'll hear it all discussed on The Mallard Report with your host, Jim Mallard. The Mallard Report is a paranormal talk show which explores the backstory, the hidden story, and the things other hosts are afraid to discuss. From the secrets of the paranormal to Paula Deen to the government spying on us all, no topic is too taboo for Jim to ignore. The Mallard Report airs live every Tuesday night at 9 p.m. Eastern Time. Listen to The Mallard Report by going to italkparanormal.com. That's the letter I, italkparanormal.com. When you visit italkparanormal.com, you can listen to The Mallard Report 24/7. italkparanormal.com. italkparanormal.com for The Mallard Report.
Are you out of work? Are you looking to make a lot of money on the internet from the comfort of your home? I have consistently made over $30,000 every month for the past 8 years. It's fun, it's easy, and beginners are desperately needed right now. Sign up today at www.goo.gl/capital W, capital N, 0, lowercase x, lowercase u, the number 9. And potentially make over $30,000 a month, just like I did. Again, the website address is www.goo.gl/capital W, capital N, 0, lowercase x, lowercase u, the number 9.
The response to our Amazon shopping has been amazing. You guys have come through in a record amount of traffic by shopping our Amazon link at JiggyJaguar.com. Every time you buy your books, electronics, videos on demand, smartphones, netbooks, Kindles, everything, you can even buy groceries over there. That is absolutely amazing. When you shop our Amazon.com link at JiggyJaguar.com, that's JiggyJaguar.com, we get a percentage of the sales from Amazon. So every time you buy your HDTVs and MP3s. Recently, Dan Perkins, best-selling author, had this to say about Amazon.
I listened to your promotion for Amazon.com. You can buy book 1 and book 2, which just came out.
Look at that.
I encourage your listeners to go there and support your operation.
So keep shopping our Amazon link at JiggyJaguar.com. Every time you do your shopping, we get a percentage of the sales, and that's boosting our operation here. We couldn't do it without you, and the response has been phenomenal.
Back to the Jiggy Jaguar Show on the network.
Coast to coast and border to border, it is Rachna from PopVox with us today, POPVOX.com. Rachna, how are you?
I am good, but it's summertime in D.C., so it's hot and humid. But at least Congress is in session, so there's something happening here.
Now, there is a lot of different things going on. Let's first of all talk about some veterans issues here. I seen something earlier today that I'm trying to remember what that was. Something about they passed something. I'm not sure what it was, but they passed something. Let me see if I can pull this up here. Basically, they. Where was it? It was just up here on my radar like 5 minutes ago, and apparently it is now gone. But
Congress was looking at a couple of bills this week.
I believe that's what it was. Yeah, an accountability issue.
And basically, in the last several weeks, there's been so many issues that have come up about the treatment of veterans and the backlog of veterans that need to receive medical care, and the VA not only having such long backlogs, but then also some reports of the forms being altered to avoid such scrutiny around the backlog issues. And so there was a couple bills that that the House passed addressing this kind of accountability, and creating systems so that there's better timelines, and that there's better ways to address this waiting time. But that's stuff that's happened in the House, and then yesterday there was a big committee hearing in the House about data manipulation and what's happening with the VA. But as you know, things have to move through the House and the Senate as well. And that's where the real action is, in the Senate. We have the two main senators that are leading the charge around veterans care in the Senate, which is Senator Bernie Sanders from Vermont, who's the head of the Veterans Affairs Committee in the Senate, and then Senator John McCain from Arizona came together and reached a bipartisan agreement to improve veterans' access to health care and to address these serious problems. So the fact that these two senators have come up with a bipartisan agreement about reform of the Veterans Affairs Department is huge, and hopefully that the Senate will be able to pass this sweeping piece of legislation.
It is a great time to speak with a great guest today. Rachna from Popbox joins us. popbox.com is the website. And one of the big things right now is the loan programs as far as the students go and the education system. Last couple months, it's been a big, hot, debated story. What are Popbox users saying about this?
Well, this bill has just been introduced, so it's very early to tell. But yesterday, President Obama spoke about student loan issues, but with a very unique spin. It wasn't just about student loan debt and the debt that students are facing, but he took it a step further and talked about how these student loan issues affect our economy. And when you have college students with a lot of debt, they may put off buying a house or making some larger purchases, which then affects our entire economy. So he took it away from the individual student and her loan issue and brought it into a larger context, which was very interesting. And he also endorsed a bill in the Senate that was introduced by Elizabeth Warren called the Bank on Students Emergency Loan Refinancing Act. And it's rather simple. It would provide Americans with who have student loans, and that includes myself, the opportunity to refinance their loans at a lower interest rates that's available to current students. So the legislation would potentially benefit 25 million Americans, and on average, they think it would save the typical borrower about $2,000 over the life of the loan with these lower interest rates. Now, given this applies to federal student loans and not private loans that some students take on with private banks like Bank of America, this is just for federal student loans. But still, hopefully, if this bill passes, President Obama feels that it would bring in more money into our economy and just, give our economy a further boost.
It's Rachna from Popbox today, popbox.com. Next week on the program, I want to talk campaign finance. I also want to talk a little bit more with Rachna about some of the different things going on over there at Popbox. But Rachna, thanks for joining us today. I really appreciated the conversation.
Thank you, and for everyone listening that has a student loan out there, you should weigh in and share your voice on what you think about the student loan bill. But then also, think about the costs of how the government's going to pay for it too.
Yes, indeed. Well, Rachna, thanks for being with us, and we'll talk to you next week.
Thanks so much.
Appreciate it.
Are you out of work? Are you looking to make a lot of money on the internet from the comfort of your home? I have consistently made over $30,000 every month for the past 8 years. It's fun, it's easy, and beginners are desperately needed right now. Sign up today at www.goo.gl/capital W, capital N, 0, lowercase x, lowercase u, the number 9. And potentially make over $30,000 a month, just like I did. Again, the website address is www.goo.gl/capital W, capital N, 0, lowercase x, lowercase u, the number 9. Are you looking to start your own successful online business on 100% hands-off autopilot for only $9? That's right. For a one-time payment of only $9, you can get paid up to $600,000. Thousands of Americans have joined, and they are making tens of thousands and even hundreds of thousands of dollars, and they all started with just $9. Absolutely no experience